Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. We are here. We're queer and we're proud. Oop, wrong channel. This is the Howard channel. I thought we were on OutQ. We're here and we're proud.
We're not queer?
No. I know Oprah's not gay. I've been watching these clips on her website of Oprah behind the scenes. Uh-huh. And they're quite fascinating. You get to see Oprah and her staff behind the scenes. And it seems that everybody on Oprah's staff is fatter than Oprah. Like the women are all 9 million pounds. And
yeah.
It seems like, I've always had this suspicion that Oprah doesn't do all that much work. It seems like that's a producer show where they pull the topic, they get the guests, they get everything lined up from segment to segment, and Oprah marches in every day and does the show.
Right.
And gets the glory. It's a very, very strange thing, and I think these people have a lot of pressure. They all apparently are afraid of Oprah and not pleasing Oprah. I really am taking notes because I need
Yeah,
to,
she's running the organization the right way, right?
Yeah, like I should march in like a diva and then...
Is it better to be feared or loved? That's what you have the question of.
Everyone else around here, it doesn't seem all that neurotic, and
They
I'm
love
neurotic.
you, they don't fear you.
No, and I'm neurotic about the show. Everybody else is like, don't worry about it. Howard will get it done. No guests, no problem.
Ooh.
I fear them, you know. So, no, so, you know, our staff isn't under the same pressure Oprah's is. Oprah's staff is like two of the talent bookers, they had to get J.K. Rowling's on the show.
Uh-huh.
J.K. Rowling's the woman, of course, who wrote Harry Potter.
Yes.
This was Oprah has to interview her. And, you know, I understand why.
Look, I haven't had her yet. Where is she?
And J.K. Rowling has hit books, and then J.K. Rowling used to be like homeless or something.
And she doesn't do interviews and the whole thing, yeah.
So, they, you know, and they're all like, we have to get this for Oprah. We have to. I think I almost have J.K. Rowling. I mean, these two fat women are just, well, they weren't that fat, but they have a lot of fat executive producer types. It's wild. And then Oprah apparently shows up in her sweatpants. Like she comes to Harpo completely undone, and her sweatpants are way too tight, and her ass and her fucking legs are thick, and
oh dear,
it's wild stuff. We shoot all that stuff behind the scenes. I called Doug Goodstein and go, you know, our fans would love to see more of that stuff, just like Oprah's fans like to see what goes on behind the scenes. Like, for example, on our show, if you ever hear Will Murray's side of the pre-interview for some people, you don't even have to hear the other person on the phone. That would be a bonus.
Yeah, just to hear Will asking the questions?
Yeah, like Will will be doing a pre-interview with someone saying, well, how far was that tube up your ass? And, you know, it's just like, it's just weird stuff.
He gets to interview the most interesting people.
The other day I was in the hall and I just kind of poked my head around a corner and I was watching Will, Jason, and John Hine. They were all having a big discussion and Will was holding court and there's a whole talk show going on out there.
Wow.
What happens
and nobody's capturing it?
Well, no. But you know what it is. You got to have a lot of resources. You got to have cameras on everyone.
Everywhere and with everyone, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could just follow Benji, Fred. Our fans would love it. I've always said that about Howard TV. I think that's the next step for Howard TV, that we should, I thought from the beginning we should have reality shows like, you know. I mean, I'm always fascinated watching you in the hallway after the show. You're busy, you're running around.
I am not really in the halls anymore.
I see you run out and then you charge out. I'm always like, wonder where she's going. She seems to be.
Yeah, well, I'm usually going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to know where you go. And then I'd like to hear you interviewed about where you just went. I mean, I'm curious. And Fred, he's a man of mystery. I don't know what he does.
Nobody knows what Fred does.
He sits here after the show and he's doing something. I don't know what.
But he disappears too.
I always said,
where does he go?
You could just keep a camera on Fred. That would be very good for me for the whole show. Just watch him. People are fascinated with Fred.
And, well, they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch a show where Benji's just getting ready for work in the morning because today his head looks more bald than ever, and he's more wet and disgusting than ever. Like he just came over and said something, and I looked over and I went, "Oh my God,
completely wet."
His head is dripping. His hair is almost all gone.
It's 20 degrees outside. He's sweating.
How does he manage that?
Is it because you wear that ski cap that your head gets hot, or is that why you sweat, or you just took a shower? Or?
I think it's because I had just taken a shower. Yeah.
But I mean, you come over here after you take a shower. You're out of the shower for quite some time, like at least
You'd think you'd dry off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think.
It's weird. Do you just sweat a lot?
I don't know. I'm not sweating now at all.
Yeah, no, now you're all right. I guess he dried off.
Yeah.
What does he do, Fred? Does he wipe himself down?
I think he just air dries.
Do you have a towel? Do you use a towel
when you put a newspaper out in the sun?
At home, yeah, I use a towel.
That's
You
weird.
think he gets
Not a
dressed
lot on my head,
completely
though.
wet?
I mean, how can you be so?
You can't be that wet and go down the street. I mean, I take a shower every day. By the time I'm ready to blow dry my hair, it's almost dry on its own.
Yeah, right.
So,
Benji's really losing his hair too.
Yeah.
That was weird. Like I hadn't. Like what happened? Like all of a sudden, it's like all out.
I think it's.
I think it's. Let me see. Take your hat off. It's almost all gone.
I'm really, yeah.
Let me see. Big
Every
deal.
day I look up things about balding cures and.
Nah. Wow.
Yeah,
You're not
I
going to
know.
go with Sal and get the
Propecia?
Propecia
about
off
it.
the internet?
Yeah,
I think you're waiting too long.
I know.
You know, I think it's. You know what, man? You're
But you
kind of.
don't look bad that way.
You don't
Maybe you
look
should
bad.
just go for the shaved head look.
I might.
No, don't shave. You know what? I like this look because if he shaves his head, he's gonna look like Uncle Fester.
Oh, that's
know what
not
I
a good
mean?
look.
I think you could get a little more hair back with that Propecia, and then you could just do like a Caesar haircut.
Would you ever wear a toupee? You would never wear it.
Yeah, if it looked right.
No.
Yeah.
If
Why
it
would
looked
he do
right.
that?
I mean, a lot of those guys, you guys, I'm like, my God, that guy has such great thick hair, and then you guys are all like, oh, that's a toupee.
You know what?
can't
I don't
tell.
notice all the time. There was a
Yeah.
guy that everyone was very keen on the fact that he wore a wig. You know, he wore a toupee. I didn't know. I'm thinking of this guy. I mean, I really didn't know, and I'm embarrassed I didn't know.
I wonder if we're thinking of the same guy, because one of the guys we worked with at K-Rock, I was like, he was in his late 50s, and he just had this
Oh, no,
big-
him I knew.
Oh, I was like, how does he have
Everybody
such
knew.
great hair?
Everybody knew him. You really were fooled by him?
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I
knew
didn't always
that was a-
understand why his
Stop
hair was
it.
askew sometimes to the side. But,
Right. No, there's a guy I know. You don't know him. I'm thinking about who wears the toupee. And he even had like different toupees to show like when he got a haircut. You know what I mean? Like he had the whole
Like
thing
he had a
down.
whole
That's elaborate.
rotation he would do, so
Yeah.
he would look like his hair was naturally growing, then he'd get it cut, and it was growing, and then he'd get it cut.
And then people would say, people come up to me all of a sudden and go, "Can you believe so-and-so's toupee? I mean, what the fuck is he thinking?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, it's horrible."
But you didn't know.
But I didn't know. So sometimes it does fool me, but you know what? You don't want to go that route because, first of all,
the maintenance.
the maintenance.
And Benji's not a guy who's going to
No.
maintain it.
no, his is going to be all a big mess. And you know what? You don't look bad like this. You really don't.
But that's why I wear a hat. A hat's like a toupee.
Right.
It keeps, you know.
That's cool.
It looks
Try and get a cooler hat. I saw a bald guy I know, was wearing like a really cool hat.
Like a Kango or something.
No, it was like
Rock a beret.
No, not a rock a beret. He wore he wore like what you're wearing, like a ski cap, but it was like a little less constructed. It wasn't so.
But you can't wear what Benji's wearing right now all the time.
No, only in the winter. In the winter,
Yeah.
you'll look like you have a full head of hair. In the summer, it's hard to pull off. But you know what? Fuck it, man. You look fine.
Thanks.
I mean, you don't look fine, but you're not gonna look any better with hair. I remember when you had hair, you didn't look all that good.
Yeah, but you always have hope when you don't have it.
Hair
You know?
maybe was not your thing.
Fuck it. I'm just so glad I have my hair. You know, I posted a picture of myself on my Facebook account, and all my friends wrote in, especially the friends I grew up with. Are you getting younger? Are you like how are you defying the odds here? Well, but you know what it is? I'm lucky. I have a full head of hair, and I have very little gray.
Right.
You know, compared to people my age, I've got some gray if you look close. But I mean, it's pretty much dark, thick
Right,
hair.
still a lot of dark hair.
And that gives me my youthful appearance. On top of the fact I stay relatively thin,
Uh-huh.
you know, especially, you know, if I hide that little belly of mine, which I can in clothes. The trick is to wear baggy shit. Baggy is good. Tight, no good. Tight, not good for most people. Baggy.
No, there are very few people who can do the tight thing.
When you wear baggy, nobody knows what's doing. That's the way to go. Trust me on this. I'm no fashion expert. I see people who are supposedly fashion experts. Too tight. Got to go baggy. Listen to me. Unless you're a fucking supermodel. Like Beth will wear those skin-tight fucking
Right,
outfits.
yeah, those Harvey Leger bandage dresses and
Yeah.
all of that.
She wears all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, good. You should. Everyone else, no.
Right.
keep away from that shit.
Everyone else, don't wear a bandage unless you have an injury.
And by the way, Lisa G, I didn't get to her. Lisa, do you want to come in and do a quick rundown on what's happening in the Howard 100 News? Let's hear that, and then we'll get back to all the action.
Lisa Glassberg takes shits at work.
Yeah.
Takes chance at work. Take
Singing my own theme song.
Go ahead. What do you got for us, Lisa G. from the Howard 100 News?
Well, Howard, according to Bravo TV's millionaire matchmaker, Patty Stanger, you are wrong about older women finding a guy. She says odds are not in your favor statistically. There are way more women than men here in the United States.
What am I wrong about?
What did you say?
What did I say?
You said that it's easy to find a guy, and that when you were talking to me, you said I'm being too picky.
Well, you are. I mean, you're a very good-looking girl. And I heard the guys on the wrap-up show talking about you, and I was waiting for you to go in, but you didn't.
What were they saying?
Well, they were just talking about how good-looking Lisa is and stuff, but a lot of guys don't get a vibe from her that she really wants a man, but she only wants a man like me or something, like who's super, super successful. That was basically the rap I heard.
So she could have some broken down wreck of a guy.
Right.
I could have Ted Williams.
You could get him easy. No, but I think Lisa, you know what, my theory on Lisa is, quite frankly, she's not such an enigma to me. I kind of feel that Lisa is a girl who's very satisfied in her everyday life. She doesn't need a man to complete her. If she found a guy who was like really cool and she could, you know, kind of vibe with him, she'd be with him. But if that doesn't come along, if he's not perfect, then why fuck up her life?
Right.
Do I have that pretty much correct?
Well, he doesn't have to be perfect, but I am very happy.
But you don't want to screw up your life just to have a guy. Some guy who's going to drive you crazy.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Gary was talking about you. You sound like a piece of chicken.
What did he say?
He's like, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble with HR, but I turned around the other day and I saw Lisa's ass and it looked really good.
Benji was saying something about he'd go out with her, but he wouldn't have sex with her, and I'm like, yes,
What?
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say again?
I said I find her absolutely physically attractive.
Right.
I think you guys are wrong about her. I think she's perfectly happy with a regular guy. But I just said we wouldn't be right for marriage. I like her a lot, but I wouldn't pursue marriage with her. We're not the right.
Isn't that sad? Like Benji would.
Benji won't marry you. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of guys would be very happy with her.
Have you had any more depressing news than the fact that Benji wouldn't consider marrying you? I mean, come on. Do you think Benji would be a slam
Look,
dunk for
I
you,
consider you lucky. Benji wouldn't marry you.
But poor Lisa's probably like,
I wouldn't marry Robin either. I mean, it just.
And that's why I
more
consider
good news.
myself lucky.
My shoes would not
I
be
like
on
you,
your
and I think
feet.
you're
Lucky
attractive, but
that you wouldn't marry me.
More good news.
I would not put my ski hat on your bead.
There's nothing more than for a woman to be told by an overweight, sweaty, bald guy that you're not good enough for him.
that's not what
you.
I'm saying.
Yes, you are.
You,
No,
thank
no, it's
you.
not.
You're saying you're not totally overwhelmed with them. They're not good enough for you to marry.
That's not what I'm saying
That's
at all.
exactly what you're saying.
No, it's not. I'm saying I said there's some. Listen,
Like
you
Lisa
got-
and Robin aren't good enough for you
That's
to marry.
absolutely not true. I think they're wonderful people. I like them. But there's people that
I
you're
will
more
not share
compatible
my
with, that you have a lot of
sweaty balls
fun
with
with on
Yeah,
a daily
you don't
basis.
dig them enough.
Well,
We're not fun.
so the people that you didn't
Benji's
marry,
fun.
the people that you didn't settle with when you were dating, they weren't good enough for you?
You know what? You two are official losers now.
That's
Benji
right.
rejected
We're
you.
not fun.
You're not fun.
Well, I'm rejecting you because no jeans fit you in the store when we went jean shopping.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Forget it.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I told you she was pretty.
You know what? I'm not upset about being rejected by
Oh, you should be.
I'm not upset
Because
at
that's
all.
about as bad as it gets.
I am very proud
This reminds
that
me-
Benji wouldn't have me.
When I would go to parties in high school, and these enormous fat chicks would not even speak to me. Like I went there because I was like, well, all right, I'll settle.
I'll be the piece of ass here.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just settle because I need some female attention. And then I'd go and I'd be totally ignored, and like sit on a couch and smoke cigarettes while all my friends spoke to these chicks. I actually went over to a group of these big, enormous fat women. They looked like Oprah and her producers, and these girls wouldn't talk to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how creepy I must have been. Anyway, Lisa, go ahead. What else do you have in the Howard 100 News? I'm
Well,
depressed.
Patty says there are 5 single women to every guy here in New York City, not to mention that most men are looking for someone younger. And she suggests that older women be more proactive, like go to the suburbs to look for guys if you live in the city.
God. It's like
Where are
a
you?
hunting expedition.
I'm in the desert looking for men.
It's man season in the
Let's go
suburbs.
to
Where do you
Afghanistan.
go on Long Island? Look for most of Long Island is mostly like married couples. It's mostly bedroom communities.
I guess you got to find a widower or a divorcee.
That sounds good.
How about you can inherit all his kids.
I'll move to Boca and make a casserole for a
I guess if you
widower.
go, you know where I would go, girls? Cancer wards. You marry a guy, he's got money, he's not going to be around that long,
And you see him off
and they're hard
in
up.
a nice way.
Isn't that this terrible news for single women? Like,
Go to the suburbs.
go to the suburbs, go to a cancer ward, go to a desert. We understand there's very few.
Well, they always
women.
have Alaska. If you're really desperate, there's supposedly no women up there.
Yeah, Jupiter. Where was that planet that Harry Mudd took women to?
Oh, God. I forget the name.
It was a
of it.
mining planet on Star Trek.
What about a grief counseling group? Just lie.
Yeah.
So
How about AA? You know, you go there and.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people find love at the rehab places.
I like women who go to church to meet guys. Like you're going to meet a fucking, those are all mental case guys, What are they
Well,
doing?
I mean, in the bar, there are mental cases. There are mental cases everywhere.
Just trust me, there's no normal guy going to church on Sunday.
Can I admit what I did?
What'd you do?
I went to a Shabbat dinner.
Yeah.
When?
How'd that work out?
It was good food.
I know when you went. Shabbat. When'd you
What
go?
is Shabbat?
This weekend?
Years ago, no.
Oh. It's the Jews, that's their Sunday.
Oh, you mean
Friday night.
just the usual Sabbath dinner?
Right.
Okay.
She went to Shabbat dinner.
Sounds so depressing.
And I bet you the guys were really great.
Well, you mean it was a big gathering just for singles or something?
Kind of like that, yeah.
How bad was it?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Were the guys complete
The
douchebags?
thing is, I meet
And they
really
all-
great women there. I made a new friend.
And all the guys are like, they really think highly of themselves, like Benji. Like
Yeah, they were like
as a
Benji.
woman, I'd be sitting there going, Benji is so disgusting that, you know what? Maybe I'll settle
Benji goes to the Shabbat
No, I'd
dinner.
be like, maybe I'll settle for a Benji. And then all of a sudden, Benji goes, I wouldn't consider you at all. Like, these guys at the Shabbat dinner are all princes, It's like Benji.
You are not in my car.
That's not what it is.
I got a high opinion of myself.
I do have a high opinion of myself,
do.
but I also want to be with someone that we.
It's just very depressing for women to hear that you would reject them because
No, it's not. Look
you're
at him.
You're bottom of the barrel.
Robin, are
Chunky
there
hunk.
any wonderful guys that you're probably not compatible with?
Like it would be a,
No, I would be compatible with
It
any
would be
wonderful
like the guy that Howard brought in the other day?
it would be a
Because he
huge-
went to
Who
church.
said he was wonderful?
It would be a
Why
huge,
was he a bad
Benji,
guy?
It would be a huge compromise for a woman to reduce herself to your level.
I don't think so, Howard.
And now you're saying you don't want them.
Right.
Robin, what was wrong with the guy Howard brought in? Why
I don't know
he wasn't
that
good
man.
enough for you?
I don't know him.
All right, Benji, thank you. All right. I don't want to get into
I know
that.
you.
I don't find you marriage material.
No, for me, I want someone that I.
I'm one tiger who can't be tamed.
It doesn't he remind you of all the guys at the Shabbat dinner, like very physically unimpressive and yet kind of like a prince?
Like stuck on himself.
Yeah, like wow, he's
Full of himself.
Yeah, it's like these guys on the beach with really big bellies. They strut around like, wow, I'm really handsome.
I'm a chubby Tarzan.
Meanwhile, women are wrapped in towels.
right. They don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Even though they're fine, they just want to keep covered up. It's very depressing.
So, Lisa,
Yeah.
are you insulted by Benji's comment that he likes you and he's attracted to you, but you're not the marrying type in his
No,
argument?
he is a typical guy. It's like what I told Howard, the guys on the beach with these huge pot bellies and they're rubbing their bellies like they're like, King Kong and they're hot. Doesn't surprise me at all. He's got a big ego. I think women could learn from the Benjis of the world. Doesn't matter how fat you are, if you have no hair, you got a big nose, if you're, a freak, you just think you're hot, you're hot. And other people will think that too, so God bless Benji.
So Howard always says it's a man's world. It really is a man's world when guys can, sort of marry up, so to speak. They can get these girls or girlfriends.
Yeah, look at Benji's date from last year's Christmas party, Sarah. She's so cute. I mean, come on. And she got naked for him in the studio. And look at Robin. She's gorgeous. Guys should be knocking down her door.
But what about Benji? Where do you think he gets his ego from? Because he's on the show and he's a bit of a celebrity? No,
I don't think it has to do with that he works with Howard Stern. I mean, that adds to it, but I think most guys have big egos. And God bless them.
Now, what if Benji had said, I'm attracted to Lisa, and I would marry her. Would there be any sparks flying between you two? Is there any attraction coming from your end?
Oh, that's a good question. That's funny. No, because he sweats too much.
Not even those baby blue eyes, or the fact that he's very cerebral, very bright guy. He writes a lot of great lines, that Howard says.
Yeah, he is funny. Funny is good. You know what? I haven't even let myself go there. So can you get back to me tomorrow?
I see the window is still slightly cracked open, so Maybe
That's
Benji
funny.
should-
I did go clothes shopping with him. That was fun. I felt like, oh, we're married. We're going clothes shopping.
Did you see his calves when he changed into a
Can I
different
tell you
outfit?
something? he walked out of the dressing room wearing his boxer shorts, but they looked like old-fashioned gym shorts. And I went, "What are you wearing?" I couldn't even tell they were boxers. You know, it was so funny. He's crazy. Probably he makes women laugh, and women love a great sense of humor, so that's definitely working in his favor.
So Benji, do you feel bad at all about the way things came across when you were talking about Lisa G this morning?
Yeah, like I do, because it's so funny. Like everyone always says I'm so shticky, and maybe I don't know if they were just trying to be funny and saying like I was thinking that I'm better than Lisa G, or I'm better than Robin, or they're not good enough for me. I think it's a very natural thing that there's some people that you think are great people, but you don't think that they're. I think potentially both of us would be happier with other people. I don't think I'd be miserable being married to Lisa, I like being with her. I think we would have a lot of fun together. But I think personality-wise, there's women that I'm more compatible with than her for marriage. And I'm sure vice versa too. But I think a lot of guys would absolutely love being married to her.
But Lisa takes that as a personal insult.
Does she really? I can't believe.
When I spoke with her, her vibe seemed to suggest, it's a man's world where someone, you're a typical guy who might not be, super hot himself, thinking he can get this attractive woman, and that's what she said.
I would love to talk to her one-on-one on camera about it. You want to do it? Can we get her? Because that's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. I think she's physically desirable. I think she has a sweetheart. It's just, I don't get that at all. Like, are there guys that she doesn't think are great guys that just she knows aren't right for her for marriage? I mean,
that's a valid point.
Should we get her? Or
yeah, to the newsroom.
Are you allowed to come?
Well, once we get to the newsroom, I can start.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see if she's up for it.
I'll meet you there.
All right. Greg told me you were offended by it, or.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, well, maybe I misread it. Like,
I wasn't offended. Where'd that come from?
Well, you said that
I said
a lot
all
of these
guys have big egos, and women could learn.
But I don't understand what it has to do with ego. You think
because you think Robin and I aren't good enough for you.
Is that really what you think?
Yeah,
because
that's what you said.
I never said that. That's what Howard said, because I don't.
We're not for you.
I don't think we're compatible for marriage. That doesn't mean you're not good enough for me.
Hold on, it's my dad.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. What?
Are there any guys that you think are great guys and you like them and enjoy them, but you don't think probably not right for you for marriage?
Yeah, probably.
And does that mean that they're not good enough for you?
Well, they're not good. That's a heavily loaded question, because they're two separate categories: friend, girlfriend,
right.
Friend, marriage. So you think of me and Robin more in the friend category.
Yeah, but it's also, I don't think our personalities would be right for marriage. Do you?
Right. No, I don't.
Does that mean I'm not good enough for you? I mean, if that's what it means, it's fine. But...
No, it's not good enough. It's just that wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, so but why, when I say it, it means that you're not good enough for me? I never said that.
Now you're getting me all confused. Now I'm like getting into the Benji zone. I think you need someone who's 28.
Okay.
And a stripper.
All right. That's fine. Like I said, like Mary Lou Henner, I think she's in her mid or late 50s. And I might, if I knew her for 5 years, maybe there'd be things that we wouldn't be right for marriage. Hearing her talk for like the interview, I was like, this is a woman, the kind of personality I'd love to marry.
Right, so would I. She's a great personality.
So we should both like be emailing her.
No, she's great. I went, wow, I want to be her friend.
Okay,
but,
well, we're both looking to marry Mary Lou Henner if she's watching.
And
this.
a guy version of that.
Or even the girl version.
I think you would be best suited for someone younger and have some kids.
It's not, but it's. Listen, I like you a lot. Like I've said it on camera, on radio. I'm physically attracted to you. I think if we went on dates,
But not
I would
enough.
have fun. No, it's not. I said
Is this for behind the scenes, the new
I think if we
show?
went on dates, I would have fun. I think you would have fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy hanging out with you. I think potentially for marriage, though, there's other people that we'd both be much happier with. And I think there are a lot of guys who would absolutely be perfect wife for, and they would love you as a wife.
Who?
As a specific type of guy? I think like a John Hine type of guy is more...
So don't you know any nice John Hine type of guys?
Most of the guys I know are married.
There you go.
But if and this may start a segment, I could definitely take you on the street or take you anywhere that you'd feel comfortable and find you guys that you would want to date.
Right, but I don't want to meet a stranger.
Okay.
Because nice people know nice people, so you're a nice person. If you knew a nice person, that would be terrific. So I've been here 5 years now. Only one person has set me up, and that's Sal.
Right. Yeah.
So that's not a good average.
But I encouraged you a lot to go to dating events and...
Yeah, but
put
it's too
yourself out.
young. It's too young for me.
All right.
I've said to you, if you tell me where to go, I'm more than open to. But you haven't come back with anything that's age
Well, I'm
appropriate.
saying, let's go walk around the park. And
I don't want to meet a stranger.
But isn't everyone... What's that expression? Like,
A share?
no one's really a stranger. They're just a future
God.
friend.
Yeah, or an axe murderer.
Okay.
But thank you for
So
sharing.
that rules it out if they're an
I'm not
if they
gonna go
once
trolling
if they
the
once
street.
killed someone with an axe, they're like they're
Right.
out forever.
Right, like my
Oh.
grandmother said, if a guy tells you he's an axe murderer, believe him.
Have you had a guy tell you that?
No.
What do you say? Well, what do you do?
No, but like if someone says, I don't like to get close and personal with someone, that's not a good thing. Or one guy said to me, you know what, I just don't like to be in touch with people. Well, I'm not your gal.
Maybe we should go on a date.
No. Don't
Ben, scooch a little closer there. I want to see how this looks in frame. No, I just want to see
if
how...
Lisa feels comfortable with me scooching closer, I will.
No, stay right
Okay.
there. You're all sweaty.
Wait, that's such a lie. Am I sweaty at all?
A little.
Where? Show it.
You're shiny.
Okay, point it at the camera and then look on the camera, so people can judge.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hine and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Baba Booey. I'm here on Monday's wrap-up show. We talked about my impending kidney stone operation, and the listeners, who are just very sensitive people, all called up to tell me how brutal it was going to be, how much it was going to hurt, how I was going to be pissing blood for a month. And it made me feel really good, and it really, really relieved me when I had to go have my operation. Here's how it went.
You're not going to be here tomorrow, and I know that's major for you.
Right. And this was the only day for what I kept saying I wanted to do it on a Friday, and my doctor doesn't work on Fridays. I kept saying, he said there's a specific place because there's a special machine that they use, and I guess they don't. Every hospital just doesn't have it. It travels because it's not a very common procedure. I guess I don't know. Whatever it is, he told me this is the day you got to do it. I go, I can't take off work. He goes, you have no choice. You got to take off work. We can't wait anymore. You have to do it this day.
All right. Now you're going in tomorrow. Would you obsess, or are you obsessing more over this than you were over the pitch, or were you more worried about the pitch than this?
The pitch by triple. Easily triple on a pitch.
Because?
I'm not going to be awake for this.
You're going to wake up.
I know, but still, I'm not going to be awake for this, so I don't have to see it. I may, again, the word uncomfortable has a lot of meanings. It means whatever it means to people. So everyone keeps saying, you're going to wake up, you're going to have some discomfort, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but what's your worst case scenario? I mean, what are you imagining in your head that discomfort might mean in this case?
What I imagine in my head is, remember that scene in The Green Mile where Tom Hanks goes out to pee? You remember? And he's in so much pain, he drops to his knees?
Yes.
That's what I imagine.
Well, I mean, Artie talked about when he had a catheter in him, the worst part wasn't the catheter, it was the pissing afterwards.
Remember
right?
that scene in The Green Mile where Tom Hanks grabs his cock as someone shoves a camera in it and goes, this is the worst thing ever. Gary, listen, I feel like it's your bachelor party, you're about to get married, you're going to, lose some function in your cock. I I don't know. Like what Howard said today, it's worse than going down on a plane crash in some ways. It's just. But look, I'm a survivor. It's like, you know what I mean. Like I've gone through this, so you'll get through it. It'll be fine. You'll see your children again, but and dude, you're gonna get like Demerol. They're gonna give you the strongest fucking Demerol. It's so great.
I'd rather have M&Ms than Demerol.
It's just so great. I forget what comic does the joke. Just avoid this, like, because Demerol, heroin, like what makes you honest. Like you go, hey man, you fucking got ugly hair, So don't insult the doctor right before you go under. Like some guy said, like I got Demerol, and I said to the doctor, hey man, you're fat.
I told Mary. A couple of days ago, I said, you have to have sex with me tonight, meaning Monday night. She goes, why? I said, this operation could go bad, and that could be it. That could be the last sex I ever have.
Yeah.
So I said, you have to.
So, Artie, post-catheter, what does Gary have to look forward to?
Incredible pain and pissing blood.
How long does that last?
Just about a year. But look, in the same year, the first pitch and a camera up your dick. Holy Christ!
Yeah, well,
that is really an assault on your manliness.
Artie could hardly feel the catheter in his penis. He was too busy vomiting charcoal.
Great, Gary. Make fun of my life-threatening experience.
But mine is life-threatening.
No, you got another kidney jerk off. Don't even get it done. Just if you never went in, you think you'd die, you'd be fine.
But if your kidney fails, don't they have to? Do they just leave it in, or you have to go take it out? Like you can't just leave a dead organ.
You can leave a kidney there.
Can you leave a dead organ in your body?
I don't know.
Look, JD's cock hasn't been used in years. He's leaving it there.
No. That's a really good question. Like, if your kidney fails,
that's an organ.
Do you have to have an operation to have it taken out?
I don't know.
Just don't go. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Now, Artie, you're terrified of stuff like this, right? If you were
something up my cock, you're not.
Besides that, I mean, if you had the stone
how does your pussy smell, John?
Well, if you had the stone like Gary does, would you have it? Would you go through this procedure and take care of it, or would you just take your chances and leave it in?
I would go just to get the Demerol. I mean, of course, would I go to? Yeah, if I had a kidney stone, would I go to the doctor? Yeah, John, I would.
Well, not go to the doctor. I mean, undergo what he's about to go through.
Well, if the doctor told me that there's no other choice and he can't get the equipment. I mean, first of all, what is he, a drywaller or a power washer? We can't get the fucking equipment. I mean, go to a hospital or something.
I am going to a hospital.
Yeah, but they can't get the proper equipment. I mean, what is the equipment? Where's the equipment?
I think it travels. It's not a very common procedure, so I think it travels. That's what that's what they have me.
And so it's like David Brenner?
Exactly. But I thought it was what Artie just said. I got to go to a different place for a second.
See if they'll shove David Brenner up your cock.
Like Artie's talking about how much he loves the
He's already up your ass.
Artie's talking about how much he loves the Demerol, and you would just do it for the Demerol.
Right.
Have you ever done anything in your life like to fake getting drugs? Because I keep thinking of No.
I mean, funniest question. How about coughing?
No, because I keep thinking of. You remember the kid that was on?
Oh God, the flu. Yeah, the swine flu. What? Yeah, you got any morphine cough medicine? No.
Do you remember that kid that was on 8 is Enough? His name was Adam Rich. I don't know if you remember.
But he had a huge blow.
He would go into rehab all the time. And my favorite story, and I thought to myself, how fucked up do you have to be on drugs? He needed drugs really bad, and they wouldn't give it to him. So he went to his apartment building, and he threw himself down the stairs.
Yeah.
So that he could get over. And he went, he's like, I need Demerol.
I considered hurting myself.
Really?
Of course. I did that a bunch of times. Well, because when the withdrawals are coming on, man, that's horrifying. Like, you'll do anything to avoid that. So all sorts of shit goes through your head. Absolutely. I mean, look, and Adam Rich, he should have been able to get free drugs just by going up to a dealer and saying, look, I'm Adam Rich.
I'm Nicholas from 8 is Enough, but I'm grown up.
But getting back to your cock story with piss and blood and putting a camera up your cock, they've made cameras much smaller nowadays, Gary, by the way. They're not like in the 70s when, like a Dog Day Afternoon with the enormous backpacks on the... But I'm asking you this as a friend, okay? Have you thrown out that OxyContin?
I have not.
Well, we'll talk tomorrow. John, take some calls.
Hey, what's up? This is Will, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we talked about the Playboy evaluations that we did. We brought in 2 smoking hot chicks to see if they were good enough for Playboy, and we had quite the creepy judging panel to evaluate the women. The panel included the great Ham Hands Bill, 𝗛𝗵cie𝗄, Amy Fisher's husband, and Ralph Cirella. In the middle of the interview, 𝗛𝗵cie𝗄 and Artie got into it, I guess. Artie made one too many Amy Fisher, shooting somebody jokes, and it got a little ugly. Check it out.
Let's get to the Playboy evaluation. And first, Ralph, you were a judge, but I asked this to everybody here. Should those girls, do you think they're worthy of being in Playboy?
I think that first girl with a little work, the hair, She needs a little hair, tighten up the body a little bit. I think she could be in Playboy, certainly.
That was Aisha, right?
I think, whatever. Number one.
Contestant number one.
The first chick with the annoying voice.
And Howard seemed to agree with you, but 𝗦𝗵cie, who's Amy Fisher's husband, disagreed and felt pretty strongly that neither of the girls are Playboy material.
Yeah, the second one was super hot, like stripper hot. You know, she had a great ass. She had nice tits, but she just wasn't. She was taller. She was too thin and lanky. Playboy's more like rounded Marilyn Monroe types. You know what I mean?
You called her a stripper 10, right?
Yeah. Oh, she's hot for a strip club. You kidding me?
Now, if you didn't hear Lou judging, here's a little bit of what he had to say from the first contestant, who Ralph and others felt should be in the magazine.
I've looked at many women over the years. Now, here's what I see. Your tits, I think they have to be raised up a little. They're a little drooping a little too. Howard, they droop a little.
Lou, what the fuck?
You asked for honesty, you're going to get honesty.
Go ahead.
Chicken legs, yes, I agree.
I'll admit that.
And
What's wrong with chicken legs?
I like on a girl, I like a nice ass. You know, one that curves out, juts out. I don't see a curve over there.
Turn around. Turn to the side.
Nah.
That looks pretty good.
Too thin.
But it's proportional to my little body.
I like to see the hair a little longer and flowing, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's got decent tits, but
decent. So you say she would not be acceptable to the Playboy
not
people?
To me.
So Lou, very, opinionated and definitive about what he likes to see in a Playboy girl.
I'm super picky, especially with tits, and hers were perfect.
She had absolutely
Great.
beautiful tits.
I mean, they were not droopy, like,
No, he wants like those fake rocks on her chest. I guess
like
that's what
that,
he means.
but those are almost. I thought they were fake. I thought maybe she was, saying she didn't have implants when she did. I thought they looked that good because I don't like real tits. I think they're horrible. They flop all
That's
around.
ridiculous.
They're not good. And by the time they reach, like, the time the girls get old at like 26, they're drooping. It's a bad scene.
Now, what that led to, of course, you heard Artie in the background there, him getting into it with Lou a little bit, Artie bringing up Amy Fisher and Lou basically not wanting to talk about it anymore, saying that's been done, let's move forward.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That was years ago when she shot somebody.
Well, I guess
she needs to be known for her porno.
Well, I guess the question is it possible to have Lou in there without acknowledging that somehow and breaking his balls over it? Because Artie says, that's part of what he does on the show, and he would do it for anybody who came in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Artie was perfectly in line, I think.
I don't know. I mean, we didn't bring him in for that. We brought him in because he's kind of creepy sounding and he's funny on the air. And I know Artie loves to hammer him with the Amy Fisher stuff, but I think he's funny enough on his own that you don't necessarily need it. I mean, it is great when Artie brings it up, but it's not necessary, right?
I think Artie it's fine that he brings it up. It's funny. It was funny as hell. To me, that was one of the great moments, the tension that you felt while that was going on. But it really finally hit me. Like, I understand Lou's point that to him, Amy's has a whole life. She's a whole woman. She's moved way beyond what happened. It was a horrible incident. But if Mark Wahlberg came in, he did the exact same thing basically. We wouldn't constantly be berating him about what he did at 16.
Yeah, but Mark Wahlberg is producing successful shows. He's an actor. What are you going to berate him about?
I understand that, but to Lou
and Mary Jo is walking around
and there's a guy without that Mark's eye gouged some guy's eye out.
I don't know. Mark.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's familiar with the incident,
but there's lots of cases.
That's right.
James Brown has been beating the crap out of his wives. We used to have him in all the time and never really discussed that.
Yeah, but this guy is not even that person. He's not Amy Fisher. He's the guy who's banging Amy Fisher.
Right.
Well, but if Wahlberg's one of his wives came in.
Well, forget Wahlberg for a second. I think Benji's point is that happened.
I want us to get Wahlberg.
That happened a very long time ago.
Right.
He's known Amy way past.
I think what Amy did was horrible.
So what should she be known for now?
Her porn.
But I'm saying to Lou,
her beautiful vag.
She's his wife. She's the mother of the kids. So in his mind, I can see why it's like, okay, let's move beyond that.
No, you don't come on this show and move beyond shooting Mary Jo in the head.
I
mean, the woman is damaged.
Mary Jo has a right to feel that way. Her kids, and you have a right to feel that way. But I understand where he's coming from.
All right, let's work some calls into the mix. We'll start with.
I shot someone to 16.
We'll start with Allison in Florida. Benji didn't do that.
Hi.
Allison, you're on the wrap-up show.
You scared I'm going to sue you for saying that? That I said that?
Good. How are you?
Hello? Good. I mean, come on, it's a joke. I mean, Lou was on there, and the whole audience knows the only reason he's there is because Amy Fisher shot Mary Jo in the head, and now he's married to Amy Fisher. It's a joke. It's hilarious. I expect Artie to do that, and it would not be, cool if you guys just sat there and ignored the fact that this.
Right. That's exactly what
head.
she's famous for. She's not famous for having a movie career or being an actress.
Listen, if you really want to be picky about it, though, the reason we have Lou in is because he's hilarious in those porn clips when he talks to Amy and says all this dirty shit to her. That's why we brought him in. If he was just like some nerdy guy that never said a word, we wouldn't have him on the air ever, right?
Well, if he didn't talk, he
Yeah,
wouldn't really
so,
be
I mean,
good.
it's
He wouldn't
second-
really be good
the
on a
fact
radio show if he didn't talk.
Right, but it's almost secondary at this point. And now listen, I think it's funny when he brings it up, but it is kind of secondary. We brought him in today because he's creepy.
You know what? I'm also not.
So you're saying like Lou, listen, we're not here because your wife shot someone.
Right.
You're here because you're the creepy guy.
Exactly. Well, we can't.
He's got
not
a lot
focus-
going for him.
We can't not focus, but guys. We cannot focus on the other judge who was there. There was Ralph, there was Lou, and there was Ham Hands Bill. And Ham Hands had plenty to say and a lot of suggestions about how the girls should be judged. I know he threw a lot into the mix in terms of touching their toes and whatever else. And does Ham Hands creep you out at all, Ralph?
You know what's funny about him? When you hear him on the radio, he sounds really, really creepy. But I don't know. When I see him, he doesn't seem as creepy. He doesn't look. He doesn't look like he sounds. You know, and he's in a wheelchair, so you sort of feel bad for him. But I love him. And the touching toes thing was great. I mean, that was a nice little thing. He brought something to the table.
Yeah, well, he was fired up to be here and one of the judges, correct?
Oh yeah, I mean,
He went on a little
involves
too long
women.
a couple times.
You thought? I thought he was great the whole time. You know, if you think Lou's creepy, I mean, he takes it to Ham Hands Bill takes it to a whole new level.
Super creepy.
You know what I mean? But he was great for this, and he knew exactly what to say to the women. He reminded me a lot like Ronnie. You know, when you get a girl in there. He starts ordering them around.
You know, I just want to say, like, Artie, between the break, Artie goes, well, you were kind of easy on them. And I got a text from somebody saying sort of the same thing. And I just wasn't, the girls were hot. I mean, they were pretty, they sometimes, you know, if the girl's not, I'm not going to start bagging on a girl when she's, you know.
Just for the sake of bagging on her
I mean,
you're
that's
there.
stupid. I'm sorry they were hot.
It's funny because it was almost disappointing to me when the girls showed up and they were actually hotter in person than they were in their pictures. I was like, these girls are kind of hot. I wanted a couple girls to get ruined.
Yeah, they got a shot.
I told Ralph this
So in
off.
my defense.
I told Ralph this off the air. I also always find it funny when Ralph's in the room, right? And he's the quietest one there.
Right.
You know, you hear from Lou, you hear Artie, you hear Ham Hands, and Ralph's sitting there all quiet. But, you know, Ralph knows his place,
It was
I
a
guess.
noisy room, you know. There was a lot going on in there, and I'm not going to... I could see Howard was already kind of like on edge a little bit, I sensed. So I was trying to just kind of do my thing and stay quiet.
Zach in Massachusetts, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. I enjoyed the evaluation today, and Ralph, you're an underrated guy on the show. My thing is I've never heard Howard cut off an argument before. He did with Artie. Do you think it's because of his newfound 10-30 hard out, or because he's afraid Artie's going to throw something at someone, or because he's afraid Lou will kill him?
Well, that's
all of the above.
I mean, you guys, I wasn't in there. You guys all were. It definitely was getting tense. But, I mean, did it reach that point where you were fearing that, like, Lou was going to get up or Artie was going to take a step?
I was ready for it. You know, I thought one of them could have made a move, you know, because it was getting real.
Were you in between them?
In between, yeah. Lou was to my left and Artie was over there. And Artie has thrown things and done things, so maybe Howard capped it at that because it really was getting... I liked it. I liked it a lot. It got real nasty at some point.
Well, Ronnie walked in.
It got real.
But and that's like the first level, but it gets real tense when the black security guards walk in and none of them came in. So.
You mean the real security guards?
Call him back
When
up.
they actually call it a real security guard?
Yeah, Ronnie already did make the comment how, Ronnie's here, or some derogatory thing at Ronnie, you know, actually stopping something.
I think the caller was. I think Howard thought it could get it like a violent moment.
But it really is true. Like Lou is an enormous guy. He's an ex-cop. Like, what the hell is Ronnie going to do to that guy if he really goes off on Artie?
Call someone? I don't know.
I mean, he always just goes, I can handle it. I can handle it. What does that mean?
Well, first of all, we don't know. Ronnie might be armed.
No, but honestly, when you see a fight like that going on in the studio, do you feel better that Ronnie's there? But do you feel better that Ronnie's there? You do.
If I was in a rough situation, yes, I would feel better.
If Lou wanted to attack you, would you feel comfortable as Ronnie the only guy standing between you two?
Who would I pick, Lou or Ronnie? I'd probably pick Lou just based on the way he looks. But yeah, I feel safer with Ronnie around.
Look, you got to assume that Ronnie knows what he's doing, can do his job well, and protect whoever's in there, or else he wouldn't be around.
I guess. I mean, he did a great job of stopping Artie when he was running around like a raging bull.
Ronnie would start spraying the mambo and stuff.
Well, in Ronnie's defense, he wasn't expecting that.
That's true. Good point.
But,
he
Zach,
wasn't prepared.
But Zach, thank you for calling in with that. I think you raise a good point. I don't think Howard was doing it because the show's got to be over by a certain time. I think he reads the room and judges appropriately. And there was a lot. I mean, there were a lot of moving pieces during that segment. You had the 3 judges, you had Artie, you had everybody, and sometimes that's tough to juggle.
What's up, guys? It's Teddy. On Wednesday's wrap-up show, Artie stopped by, and although he may be clean and sober, and doing very well, I might add, he decided to share with us some of his old and horrifying drug stories, especially now that Gary's on painkillers. I think it sparked some memories for Artie, but either way, it's interesting. Check it out.
Have you ever taken any drug, even ones that you get from prescription? Have you ever taken one where you took what it said on the label? I remember we were in Afghanistan.
That's as funny as Robin saying she doesn't drink cum.
I remember we were in Afghanistan, and Artie goes, how many, those Ambien, how many are you supposed to take?
No, Valium.
Take 1 an hour. He goes, give me 11.
No. I bought 15 from a guy who looked like a great father. And
he was at the Kyrgyzstan airport at 4 in the morning.
I wanted to buy liquor, and the guy wouldn't serve me liquor. It was it was like Ramadan or something. And I go, look, dude, I'm not going to be able to stay in the Turkish airport or the Afghanistan airport for 15 hours without getting fucked up. And I thought the guy was going to say, well, you got to deal with it. You seem like an addict. Get out of here. And he went, would you like some Valium? and I said, you got Valium? He goes, yeah, and I bought I bought 15 from him.
Now, did you buy it off a guy that was there, or did you buy it off the bartender? I never find out who you actually got it from.
I don't want to get I'm sure he's listening.
Artie,
I'm sure the bartender in Kandahar had serious.
There were 2 people in the airport that night that weren't us.
A
bartender and a guy at the bar eating a chicken.
No, 3 people, and the cop who was going to arrest me. But no, okay, I'll come clean. I bought them off David Tell. No, I bought them off a guy. I bought 15 of them, and it cost me like 80 million Turkish dollars, so it was like $5. And I took as many as it took to get me fucked up to forget the situation, because we had to go back to the army base to sleep. And I probably took a dozen of them. And I finally started to feel it because I was on heroin at the time, so my tolerance was way up. And Gary will tell you this. We got back to the Army base, and I was feeling good. And I'm walking around the Marines going, what? I start talking like a black guy, like, what's up, motherfuckers, man? This is some crazy shit, this war, man. And Jeff Anthony. Oh, Jeff Anthony. Jeff Anthony, who was the ex-Vietnam Marine in charge of us, who, was a great guy, but you could tell he has a limit, came up to me and got me in a headlock and said, "You going inside, motherfucker." He was an Irish guy. And he said, "You going inside, motherfucker, right now." And you listen to him, And he put me in a headlock and he put me right in bed, and I passed out, and Gary woke me up an hour before our flight.
It's funny because Jeff just sent us a note. He needed Artie to sign some books. So we were emailing each other, and he goes, yeah, I read Artie's book, read your blog. He goes, you guys are a little too honest. Hopefully nobody from the Army's reading either.
Well, listen, man, Jeff is the great. Jeff kept me alive over there, and he kept the rules going. Jeff didn't know anything I was doing. I was in the airport, and he was trying to get us a flight, and I bought 15 Valium off Osama bin Laden.
Ralph Cirella, you're on the wrap-up show.
That's amazing, Artie, that you took 12 Valium and it didn't knock you. Sometimes I would take like a half of one of those to get to sleep. Right, it would knock me out for 4 hours.
Like 12 Valium would kill a person, a different person, right?
You know what? I'll give you another awful drug story.
That's amazing.
I was in Vegas. I did stand-up Super Bowl Eve. This is about 5 or 6 years ago. And I was coming down, and I was going through withdrawals, and I ran out of stuff. I had to get on a plane at 7 a.m. to get home. I wanted to catch the kickoff of the game, which I had just put $50,000 on. Okay? So I'm sitting in first class, and I scored 25 10-milligram Percocet before I got on the plane. So now I have this on.
Wait, can I just interrupt? So to give you an idea, the 𝗦𝗫𝗄𝗿𝗱 that I have, basically people tell me that's Percocet. So you heard me describe earlier how I felt when I had one.
Right. Okay.
Artie's now got 25.
I had 25 10-milligram. You probably have 5 milligram.
You're probably right.
Right. So I bought it off this guy who shall remain nameless. And Bob Levy, but not, I'm kidding. The Reverend Bob Levy. And I got on the plane because I said I can't go through withdrawals on a plane. I had a 7 a.m. flight. I did stand up the night before. I stayed up all night in Vegas. And I just went right to the plane. I got the car. Teddy's seen that move. I just stay up and I get a 5 a.m. car and I leave. So now I'm on the plane. And the movie, you know what? You'd think I was a hack comic for making this up. The movie was the Yaya Sisterhood or something.
The Sisterhood of the Yaya.
Right, Traveling Pants.
Oh,
or something.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Right, okay.
The Yaya Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Not Yaya. That's different.
What's a Yaya movie?
That's both of them together.
It's the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood.
Which one is it?
But
Thank you, Jane.
They're all the same movie.
That's true.
So right, exactly, Ralph. You're right. But it couldn't have been like Rambo 2 or something. It had to be that. And the only thing, by the way, that I buy that has the word Yaya in it is the Stones album.
Right.
But so that's the movie. So now I'm sitting there, and my mother had made sausage and peppers for the game, and her and my uncles were coming over. So I didn't want to get fucked up, but around the first hour, and I was sitting next to this poor woman who had no idea what I was doing. The first hour goes by, and by the 45 minutes in, the withdrawals are coming. So now I'm going to turn green, and I'm going to get violently ill,
like the Hulk.
And if you read the new chapter in my book, I wrote a new chapter in my book about when I missed the Saget roast, and basically in the new chapter I say after doing I went on a heroin binge for 3 days. You're not supposed to take Subutex within 12 hours of heroin because you'll get violently ill. So to try to make it on the plane for the Saget roast, after a 3-day heroin binge, I took a Subutex. Big mistake. I actually turned green, and I told my friends with kids, if they're big Hulk fans, I can do a party because I found the exact combination of drugs you need to turn green, and I would do it for the kids again. I just wouldn't have the muscle tone of Lou Ferrigno. So I haven't found the drugs to do that yet. But
should call Casey Armstrong.
Oh, that's horrible. If Casey wasn't homeless on a beach right now, he would have heard that. But so now I'm on the plane. There's a woman next to me who looks like a vice principal in Cleveland or something. Yaya Sisterhood comes on. She's watching it. She's enjoying it. I'm starting to turn green. And before the Percocet even, I'm like saying, I felt like saying, and I've done this before, I felt like saying to the stewardess, what if I was a terrorist and I went nuts? You got to have something to tranquilize me. There's got to be something up there in the cockpit. You hit a guy with a needle in the knee and he goes out, So I didn't want to do that. So I said, fuck it. And I just didn't care. So with this woman right next to me, I order an enormous Jack and Water with just a splash of water. She brings me a Jack and Water. I asked for 2 of them. She brings me 2 Jack and Waters. I gulp down the first one. That alleviates the withdrawals a little bit. Now I take out the pill vial I have with the 25 fucking a Percocet in it, and like where her iced tea is, I just pour them all around, so I could just pick out. I could pick out them like you'd pick at an M&M.
But what's the difference? There's not green ones and red ones.
No, but I just poured 25 Percocet by her drink, and one fell on the floor, and I tried to grab it. I said, "Excuse me, sweetie, I just have to get my aspirin," and she like moves her leg. So now I have 25 Percocet in front of me. So now I got the drink in me, and I'm like, fuck it, I can't do this. I got another 3 hours. So I take 5 of them immediately. I just pop them. And now it's okay. It's all right. She's looking at me like, what's this poor guy doing? Clearly, I'm screaming for help. And 5 makes me feel all right. I take another 5. I gulp a little more Jack Daniels. Now I'm feeling like, Miles Davis at Carnegie Hall. I'm like, fucking, I'm great, man. I'm Sade all of a sudden. And if she did drugs. And but the fucked up thing is now I could finally enjoy the movie. So it's like, so now I'm starting to ask the chick, so what happened in the beginning? Like, why is Sandra Bullock mad at her? Like, and so as I took more Percocet,
why is he treating her like shit? This is horrible.
Yeah, right, Ralph. I'm going like, oh, come on, that didn't happen. He's not calling her back. And then I'm like, I figured the more I took, the better I'd feel. So on the plane, I took about 19 of them.
How long does it take? Like you take that first round, right?
Yeah.
And you feel good, and then you get paranoid that it's not going to last. How long between that first round and then like more? Can you wait 10 minutes, or is it like almost like instantaneously?
Like Ralph doesn't know. He hasn't done this a million times at the Sound Factory. But
well, I'm just wondering how you take yours.
Ralph's looking for suggestions.
I like to wait it out a little bit.
The first 5 I took because I had just gulped the whole thing of Jack. In about 2 minutes, you're going, all right, man, all right. But then it wears off a little bit, and you're worried about losing the buzz. You take the next 5. On the plane, I took about 19. In the car with my driver, I stopped by a liquor store. I got a pint of JD, and before I got home, I stopped by Teddy's and I bought some Coke from him and his girlfriend, and then.
Just to even things out.
Just to take the edge off.
I'm just kidding. It was weed, but I took the last 6 in the car with a couple more gulps, and I went upstairs, and the game had started. I lost. I had the under, and I ate about 42 sausages and about 83 peppers, and then I passed out on the couch, and my mother and sister went home crying.
Thursday's wrap-up show was all about Denise Richards. No one knew how she was going to be when she came in. In fact, a lot of people thought she was going to be a little bitchy. And she came in and charmed everybody with her looks, with her candidness, and I think everyone is still in love. And it was fun to talk about. So here's our discussion about Denise. I think everybody fell in love with Denise Richards today.
Yeah, first of all, she looked phenomenal, just phenomenal. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that are going to call in and go, you guys were C-struck, you could see her, we couldn't see her. But I thought she was just a big dumbass. You know what I mean? I thought she was like one of those chicks. I didn't really know anything about her. You see, I don't watch any of those movies. I know she's got the reality show. I know what's going on with the divorce, and I don't really know anything about her. And I sort of didn't like her, but wasn't sure why I didn't like her.
Well, I think, and she talked about this a little bit, the stories, all the tabloid stories, she just seems like a real bitch. And, the movie roles and whatever don't help or hurt, but you have, a certain mindset about, okay, I have a feeling she's going to be all affected and, her shit doesn't stink.
And when I've seen her interviewed, I probably haven't paid attention long enough to get any sense of her. So without having a sense of who she is, I just inherently I wouldn't say I disliked her, but I didn't think I cared for her. The second you see her, okay, great, of course you're seeing her, but she's totally charming, very nice, very sweet, and also, seemed like she was into everything. And then when she walked in there wasn't a question you could throw at her that would make her not want to answer it. And so I ended up completely changing my opinion of her, and I think the audience did too.
That's the other thing, which is so true. There's so much material there between the Charlie Sheen stuff and the Heather Locklear and this and that. And plus the way she looks and who she's been with, you almost expect her, the only one I'm talking to is Howard, kind of have that standoffish attitude. But from the moment she walked in, I literally think she charmed everyone.
Well, we all talked about, Benji even brought it up, how like when you go to say hello to somebody, they look you in the eye, and Benji said she walked by and she waved, and it almost gives you the impression that she likes you. You know what I mean? Like she's really paying attention to you.
Well, she does like me.
But when you're talking about there's so much stuff to go over, during the commercials, Will does these pre-interviews and he does a lot of the notes and stuff. And Will's going, it was like 10 pages long, and he's going, Howard, goes over this, and he goes over that, and we had gone through the entire commercial break. Will talked to Howard. Then we did more commercials, and Will talked to him more. And Will hadn't even gotten a chance to get to the Richie Sambora stuff. That's how much material there was on her.
And some guests, you expect them not to answer that. They'll evade this, they'll evade that, or joke around about it. But she was all up for the conversation. Her biggest fear was her father was listening to the show.
She cut some ideas for us, and when she came out, she went right to a publicist, and she said, don't let my father hear this.
Denise talked about a bunch of stuff, and we'll take your calls and we'll get into it. But one of the first things that came up was 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗏, and she immediately disclaimed it. Said she never had sex with him, and she's like, I'm 38 years old. Why am I going to lie about that now?
So John and I immediately had the discussion in the office. Who do you believe? It's 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗏 versus
Denise Richards,
right? So and John and I sort of thought that like. Could she have forgotten she slept with him? Like 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗏, he would not forget that. I'm sure 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗏's got
wait, but did
photographs.
did Scott actually say he slept with her?
He said she was a 3.
She's a 3.
Yeah, but that might have just meant...
No, he said that he said...
No, it just might have meant like he dated her and he's like sort of fooled around with
No,
her.
the question was specifically about how is she sexual, like when it comes to being in bed, and he said she's a 3.
I mean, she didn't seem like she was lying, and I don't think Scott Baio needs to make up any stories because I've never heard any other woman say Scott Baio lied about banging me. So could there be confusion? Do you think she forgot she banged him?
I don't think so. I think she seemed totally honest. She seemed very honest about
very
about
credible witness.
I agree. Let's go to Adam in Texas. Adam, you're on the wrap-up show.
I hate to be a redundant caller, but I totally should come off, not knowing the woman sounds like and looks like, probably be a little bitchy. But after the interview, completely changed my perception and opinion of her.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Now, why did you think what you thought before the interview? Like, what made you think she would, not be what she was?
We're judgment, instinctually. We judge people. So I think, just looking at her, seeing her in interviews and stuff and the tabloids and stuff, she comes off as probably being a bitch. But, on the interview, didn't seem that way at all. Seemed like the most down-to-earth person. You could meet her in the grocery store and she'd say hi to you.
Yeah, she's the kind of hot chick that doesn't look accessible. You know what I mean? When you see her in the tabloids and stuff, she's just so hot. She doesn't look like you could just walk up and say hello to her, but you sort of can.
Right.
Well, I can. but still.
All right.
Okay, go throw another bulb.
All right, thanks.
Glad you liked it, Adam. Let's talk to 𝗫𝗿𝗄 in Syracuse. 𝗫𝗿𝗄, you're on the wrap-up show.
How you guys doing? It's great to talk to you guys. Baba Booey, hey, urinary tract problems, no big deal. I hope you make it through it, though.
Thank you.
All right, here's my question for you guys. Denise Richards is fucking gorgeous, no question about that. But I feel like there was this opportunity for you guys to kind of ride on her because she's made a couple of hilariously bad movies. In the second to last Bond movie, World Is Not Enough, she was recently declared the worst Bond girl of all time in that capacity. I feel like, is she really the actress we think she is, aside from the hotness?
Yeah, but what do you have a guest in for? Do you have a guest in so that you can have the kind of conversation that we had today, or do you just want to punch him in the face and make him feel like shit and then shut down? So
no,
I think
not shut down, but make fun of. You came up with the conversation was amazing. Her candidacy about Stamos, about to the end of her career and what she's been like since doing the nude stuff. She's outstanding. I was just saying, it's a funny thing that could be played on.
Yeah, but 𝗫𝗿𝗄, do you think that Howard was praising her for her film biography, her filmography or her many roles? He said she's great in Starship Troopers for obvious reasons. Not Mean Girls, Wild Things. Everybody raves about that. It's getting applause from the red-blooded American males in here. And yeah, she's made a couple clunkers in the Bond movie. She wasn't so great, but no one really cared today. It was more about, her look and her relationships and all that stuff.
Right. You wanted to talk to her about listen, if I said you were having her in here, you'd say, boy, I want to ask her every question about sex I can. I want to know what she's like. Oh, yeah. So here she's fielding every question. Why do you want to buzzkill it with saying you sucked in a Bond movie?
Or what happened on the set of Undercover Brother?
You're right. It wouldn't fit. Yeah, Undercover Brother. It wouldn't fit with the flow of the way that the interview conducted. I absolutely agree. Maybe if you make fun of it at the beginning, but I absolutely agree. And then you got a wonderful interview. She was incredibly candid, and I have this thing about thinking about her next to Pam Anderson now that I just can't get out of my mind. So
yeah, you're not alone.
All right, thank you very much for your call, 𝗫𝗿𝗄. She talked about Stamos a lot. We all know Stamos. He's the nicest guy in the world, a handsome guy. Does this make you hate Stamos even more? Because man,
he's almost impossible to hate, which is the problem. He is a really good-looking guy, but he's a super nice guy, and he clearly never makes women feel like shit about themselves after he dates them. He's got it all. Yeah, he pisses me off, but in a good way. I love the guy.
Yeah, I think it's also like when we've talked about other jealousy things. It's like if Gary was dating Denise, I'd be really, really fucking pissed about it. But Stamos is so out of my league, and Gary, I don't think you are.
Lisa's got some stories from the Howard 100 newsroom. Lisa is busy being a reporter. Lisa, what do you have for us?
Lisa G takes shits at work.
All right, so remember, I think it was yesterday, Gary came in here and said the guy at the parking garage busts his balls all the time.
Right.
Well, I went down there to meet him and to talk to him.
Right.
So I said to him, John, why do you make fun of Gary? He says, because he's easy to bother. Anytime I see him, I just break his balls from whatever happens on the show. Did you see 𝗦𝗵cie𝘄𝗿𝗱's pitch?
Yeah, he's pretty consumed with Gary's pitch. By the way, I should play you more reports have come out about Gary's pitch.
It's not dying?
No, it's not dying at all.
It won't die.
No, it's become a thing. It's become like that. Now the announcers go, "Oh, that's a Baba Booey," you know, it's when you throw the pitch like a girl.
That's crazy.
Gary wants to kill me.
Yeah, Artie just bummed Gary up bad.
I did, and I'm sorry, Gary. I'm just busting balls.
What did he do?
I don't want to go into it.
Oh, it's good.
All right, you know Artie likes that song by 𝗦𝗵cie, Dreamin'.
Yeah.
I admit it, and it's kind of a gay song, but I admit it. Dreaming.
So on Artie's iPod, the 𝗦𝗵cie's picture comes up, the artwork from the album comes up when you play Dreamin'. But so Artie changed it, and it's a picture of Gary pitching.
I know. He just showed it to me. So you showed it to Gary?
But you know how...
And Artie was like laughing for a way long time at the joke, and Gary got upset and left.
Well, you know why I was laughing more? You just saw the picture, but if you hear it with this song, because I had my headset
that just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Well, Howard, I have an announcement.
Yeah.
I can't get a major league team to let me throw a pitch out because everyone thinks I'm a dirtbag. I swear to God that they just don't want anything to do with me.
Right.
But the Trenton Thunder, who are a minor league team in Trenton, New Jersey, the guy said you can throw the first pitch out. So, you know, it's not as much pressure as Gary, and I admit that. But if you want to film it, I'll throw the first pitch
Absolutely.
out. I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Is it the same distance from the mound to
It's regulation.
Yeah, it's 60 feet 6 inches.
All right, well, maybe you'll crack under the pressure.
I might. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
All right, here we go.
All I can guarantee.
What is that?
Howard, it's totally not the same.
It isn't. I know, Gary, and I said that.
Artie doesn't give a shit about Trenton. He loves the Yankees, and Yankee Stadium is like church to him. And if he had to stand at Yankee Stadium, he'd probably still make the pitch, but throwing a ball at Trenton is meaningless.
You know what? He knows I'm going to be way better, and he's pissed.
Why is it meaningless? I understand this. Artie admits it's less pressure for him, but this is the closest he can come.
It's about where it takes place and what it means to you.
I see.
No. There's pressure on me now, Gary. Listen. You fucked up, and look what I did. I acted like the biggest asshole on the planet. There's pressure on me, man. I mean,
it really isn't. It's not Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but you know, Yankee Stadium doesn't exist anymore.
I got a way to solve this. A pitch-off between Artie and Gary at this game.
Okay.
You each throw a strike.
I'm glad to do it.
Well, now that's a good idea.
There you go. Now it's an even playing field.
It's on.
Gary, there's no pressure.
Even playing field. Now it's an even playing field. You should be able to throw the strike if there's no pressure.
Gary, if there's no pressure...
Yeah.
You should do fine.
Right. Should be a slam dunk.
What are you, a big Thunder fan?
It's not the same pressure for Artie that it was for me. So the comparison...
So what about Fred's idea that if you both throw...
The point is that Artie should throw the first pitch out at Yankee Stadium.
Well, maybe until that happens.
Yankee Stadium doesn't exist anymore. There's that shit fucking pussy field they built next to it. So I can't do it. But come on, Gorilla. We in Manila. Come on, Gorilla. This is the thriller.
Dude. Gary. Fred's point. That isn't a bad way to redeem yourself.
It's a good way to settle the argument. If you, I mean, here's the deal.
You and Uncle Tom, you ain't shit.
I understand there's a lot of pressure.
When the show's over, then I'll talk.
It's over, Gary.
Go ahead.
It should have been over a week ago.
Believe me, it's over. It's over. I'll be working construction in 2 weeks. Go fuck yourself.
Gary.
Oh, you think they'll have your back?
Oh, yeah, they will. But I'll still be able to throw like a dude. Oh. You work in construction, guy. We need you to swing a hammer so you can hit an umpire by mistake.
Bring your 𝗦𝗵cie CD with you, douchebag.
And I'll show them your picture. Oh, God.
All right,
Come on, Gorilla. The point is, if I were going to do this again and I were going to redeem myself, I'd do it in a place by myself, like... You know, that means something.
But wouldn't that prove that you have the same ability as Artie? I mean, I understand why you'd say...
I can go throw a pitch and anywhere. I don't need to do it with Artie.
But that's a quick way to kind of shut him up a little bit. If you pitch a strike, too.
Shut me up!
Whatever.
Listen, Gary, what about this? The Trent Thunder game, it's not me, it's you versus Valerie Bertinelli.
All right. Well, there you go. Gary is not interested in pitching.
I think that would solve the problem because I understand the pressure that he had at Shea Stadium, and I love Citi Field or whatever the fuck it is.
Shea Stadium.
I'm not in a contest with Artie, nor am I tied to Artie. So if I do this, I'll do it on my own. I don't need.
But you're knocking his. But you're knocking his thing. It's like so now you can prove that you're as good as him.
Whatever.
All right. It's enough of that. The man has a piece of wood in his penis.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? I'm so uncomfortable today. It's the worst fucking day ever.
Really?
What's going on?
You know what? It doesn't hurt anymore, but I'm telling you, what time is it? 7:15? I've already peed 6 times.
It's time to talk about your gay pitch.
Gary, let me get off the gay pitch for a second, okay? Gary.
Yeah.
So you went and you had this procedure.
Right.
They got rid of your kidney stone.
Right.
They put, and after the procedure, they put a piece of
it's a stent. It's
a stent. It's plastic up your penis so that you'll keep the opening from
Right,
being.
and it's been uncomfortable. I've almost. Well,
Why are you peeing so much? Are you drinking a lot of water?
well, I have to drink a lot of water, but I'm not peeing a lot. I'm just peeing often.
You know what it is? The stent, the guy explained it. It sort of makes you feel like you want to go all the time.
So there's an urgency feeling, but not necessarily you really have to.
Like I got in the car this morning, and as I was walking down the block from the garage, I could barely get here. And then I've gone at least 6 times this morning.
Wow. How much longer do you have to keep that thing in your penis?
We're taking it out a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow, you got to go through this?
Yeah.
Is it going to get any better or is it just going to be horrible?
This is all new territory for me.
But did you ask your doctor? Are you going to be suffering like this for the entire week?
I don't know. I'm going to call him today, or I'll email him today. Nobody gave me any indication that this would be going on.
So when you say uncomfortable, it stings?
No, the stinging seems to have gone away. I just feel like when you have to pee really bad?
Yeah.
It's constant. Like I already can get up again. I just came back while you were having this conversation, and I probably can get up and go again.
You know, I was talking to my buddy Pat about these kidney stones, and he was saying to me, too, it's a matter of hydration. Do you drink a lot of water?
All I drink is water.
Really?
I don't drink any soda. I stopped drinking iced tea. I drink water like crazy, Howard.
But it took years to make this stone. He had really bad habits.
Well, it's like an oyster.
Oh.
I've never been a soda drinker ever, and I've always been a big water drinker, so that's never been the issue.
Wow. Well, all right.
But it's the chocolate, the Tums, whatever else he was doing for years.
I think the Tums did this guy in.
Yeah,
I mean, my grandfather used to eat Tums all the time, but he was eating so many Tums, and Tums is loaded, I think, with calcium.
Yeah.
And I think calcium leads to these deposits.
Well, the stones are made of calcium. That's what they're made of.
Jeez, these stones sound scary, man. Like even I've now changed my diet.
That's
and
scary.
you didn't have a problem.
I don't have a problem. I'm so afraid of it.
It is. It's a scary thing to get because sometimes I don't know if it's true, but it could be hereditary. You just get them anyway. I don't.
You might have a.
No, Robin. No.
It's not hereditary?
No.
All
How
right.
could a stone be hereditary?
But could you have a predisposition?
All of a sudden, your grandfather put a stone in you?
No.
Western medicine doctor says it can be hereditary,
Sure.
but Robin
They
knows
say
better.
everything's hereditary. Heart disease, everything.
You just made me feel.
Disease is hereditary.
No, it's
if you have
not.
a bad heart.
What? Cholesterol's hereditary, Robin.
No,
No.
you have to eat that.
What you're missing is that, don't you agree that there are people with family histories?
That's right. They could have a proclivity, but they have to eat and live the way that
That's
it
right.
would make that thing evidence in their lives.
I haven't eaten with my family since I was 20 years old.
If your father and your grandfather all had this condition of kidney stones, you would have to be extra careful. It's like women who have breast cancer in their family have to be extra careful and extra diligent about checking their breasts, getting mammograms, because chances are they might get it.
Explain a guy who's never smoked and gets lung cancer. Like, I mean, nothing's hereditary.
There are environmental conditions too that can cause that. Again, you might have a propensity for something.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're going to get it just because of that. It means if you contribute to it by living the same way as the other people who got it, you will too.
But you could get it anyway, even if you don't live that way.
No, nobody's getting anything anyway. We're living in a stress-filled society, bombarded with pollution, Artie.
All right.
Did your dad have kidney stones?
Oh, but my mom had them forever.
She did?
Yeah, constantly.
So that's where you get it.
She's in and out all the time.
With kidney stones?
Yeah.
So there you go. He's got it in his family history, and then on top of that, he's eating crappy.
He has a very bad diet.
Does your mom have a bad diet?
I don't know. I mean, now she does.
You don't know. Now she does. Now you don't know what she eats.
I want to say to everyone who called the wrap-up show yesterday, too, I have something that's hereditary in my family. Being really loud and interrupting great...
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hi, on Monday's wrap-up show, we talked more about The Godfather, and I did more Godfather lines, and it was fascinating.
We should lead off with today's featured guest, and that was literally a legend in film, Francis Ford Coppola. I can't believe he was in.
I can't either, and I told Howard as soon as we went to break, you know, here's a cool thing. You book the guy, he shows up, Howard calls for him, you bring him in and sit down, and I start to watch the interview, and there's always that first couple of minutes that's a little bit like, well, what's he going to be like? Is he going to have a sense of humor? Is Howard going to really be able to talk to him? Or are we going to have to cut the interview short because he just sucks? And he sat down and he made like a goofy joke about his nephew, and I wasn't sure where it was going to go. And then I looked at my watch. It was 8:30. It was a full hour later. And I was like, I can't believe our new good friend has to leave. Like, it really felt, they really just settled into that interview well. You know, because Francis Ford doesn't know Howard from a hole in the wall either. And they just settled in, and by 20 to 8, it was kicking ass. And I really was, as a fan of The Godfather and a fan of Francis Ford Coppola, I thought it was an amazing interview.
Yeah, Artie, I don't know if it's a dream come true or not, but being able to do that, him picking the scene for you to do.
Well, listen, when he came in, I had a scene prepared in my head, you know, in case Howard went to me. You know,
which scene?
The scene I started to do. I do it sometimes on the show when Tattaglia goes, but I must have strict assurance from Corleone. As time goes by and his position becomes stronger, how do I know he won't attempt any individual vendetta? I had that whole scene prepared, but then was it Howard's idea to pick a scene? That was Howard's idea.
Howard said, Francis, would you please pick a scene?
Pick a scene. So then I was shitting my pants a little bit because, you know, that scene he asked me to do, I know by heart, of course, and I did it well. But if you notice in the middle of it, he laughs because I missed the most important part that I went back to.
Right, but the other thing that visually that was interesting to watch, I don't even know if you could see, he sat there listening to you with his arms folded, and then he probably thought, oh, I got to sit through one of these things again. And then as you got it to your rhythm and you got everything correct, he started to nod, and then you nodded again, and then he had a big smile.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, he sees people appreciate his work, and everyone appreciates that movie. But that's what it's like auditioning. I've auditioned for Milo. It is like in other words, if the writer-director's in the room. Okay, I auditioned for Milos Forman once. I don't know if I ever told this on the show.
For what movie?
For Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman movie.
Right,
it was between me and Paul Giamatti for the part of Bob Zamuda.
All right, so this is Milos Forman, who directed Hair, directed
Cuckoo's Nest.
Cuckoo's Nest, yeah, major director.
Okay, and there's Hair, Cuckoo's Nest, and People versus Larry Flint, and Man on the Moon.
Big director.
So it's one of the funniest things ever. I auditioned for this enormous. It was when I was on the Norm Show. I auditioned for this insanely important casting director, Francine Maisler, for Columbia, out in L.A., and I did well, and I got a call back from my agent and she said Francine's going to have you meet Milos. So, but you got to go to New York. So on a week off, I go to New York, and he lived in a beautiful part of New York with a view of the park. That's all I'll say. And I had my buddy who knows how to use a computer look up some info, because sometimes he had helped write the script, and sometimes they like to bullshit with you, have small talk first to get to know you. So I wanted to know a little bit about him. And it's an amazing story. At 10 years old, his parents were killed in Auschwitz. He escapes somehow, gets to America, had nothing, and now I'm going to see him. He's got 2 Oscars and looking at Central Park. It's just like an amazing American story. So you know who Bob Zamuda was? Andy Kaufman did a character named Tony Clifton. That was his alter ego. And Bob Zamuda would play him and heckle Andy Kaufman from the stage.
People will probably know Bob Zamuda best because he's a guy that put together Comic Relief, and he's out doing that a lot. So that's how you would know him.
Exactly. Zamuda was in the comedy community because of that. So Tony Clifton character, Zamuda would get in the makeup and as Tony Clifton heckle Andy Kaufman at comedy clubs, not even for cameras sometimes, just to fuck with people. And so he smoked all the time, Tony Clifton. He talked like a real jerk-off from Jersey, you know. So I'm thinking, is Milos Forman going to let me smoke in his apartment? Because I wanted to smoke the cigarette for the audition. I walk in. It's one of those New York apartments where the elevator opens into the apartment. Right. Okay. I walk in, and it looked like the 𝗪𝗪𝗃 in 1962. There was so much Cuban cigar smoke all over the place. I'm like, well, he's going to let me smoke. And this hot, like, Eastern European chick says, Milos is waiting for you, you know. And she walks me over to him, and he's got a huge Cuban cigar. In back of him is Central Park. He's sitting on his couch. This hot broad sits me down, and I said, Milos, you're doing all right for yourself. And he goes, I am not complaining. And, so the funny part is, I'm sorry to be long-winded about this, but it reminded me of this. He also wrote the script, and he's this legendary director, and that's kind of what it's like. You don't want to insult their words, but you want to put your own interpretation on it. And I had gotten one actor, and Paul Giamatti is the other guy, you know, and of course he got it, you know, it's a surprise ending. But, you know, he goes, fuck the script. We're just going to, I'll do Andy Kaufman stand-up, and you heckle me as Tony Clifton. Fuck the script. I go, okay, fine, Milos, let's do it. So I'll do it. Now, Andy Kaufman used to do a great bit. In the Latka voice, he would say, first I do for you the impression. This is Archie Bunker. Eat it, you dingbat. In the same voice, he would just say, eat it, you dingbat. So Milos goes, okay, I'll do the stand-up act, then you just come in and heckle me any fucking time you want. Someone told me you do stand-up. I go, yeah, so you deal with hecklers. I go, yeah, so just heckle me like the worst fucking heckler you ever. So he starts doing Andy Kaufman stand-up. He goes, first I do for you the impression. This is Andy Bunker. Eat it, you dingbat. And he goes, heckle me, heckle me. And I go, you fucking suck it off the stage, you fucking blow, you know. And I just scream at him, and he goes, I believe everything you are saying. You are very real. He goes, I'll let you know. And he hugged me, and I left. But doing that scene for Coppola, the most important part of the scene is when he says, tell me who it was, Bozzini or Tattaglia, because Michael's not sure.
Right, that's a huge reveal.
He's not sure that he thinks Carlo did it. He's 99% sure. So if Carlo says, look, one of these guys approached me, then he knows he did it. So now he knows he can have him killed because he's about to kill his nephew's fucking father, you know. I mean, and when he says Bozzini, you know, that's when he has him off. And I forgot that part, and that's why Coppola laughed, you know. But that was I said it on the show. It was like singing Born to Run for Springsteen, you know. It was just amazing.
And you could tell Coppola was paying attention because he corrected you in the you missed one word in the beginning.
Right, yeah. No, I said, well, Sonny, well, I'm sorry to be so long-winded about this, but you know, Pacino walks in, and fucking Carlo knows he's in trouble, and he gets up, he goes, Mike, I swear to kids I'm innocent. He goes, sit down. And he goes, I said you have to pay for Santino. And he goes, answer for Santino. Which, hey, I would have done the same fucking thing. If somebody fucked up a beer league scene, I'd correct.
Let's go to the phones. Anthony in Brooklyn, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Were you nervous at all, Artie, as far as reciting the lines from Coppola? Is that why you messed up a little bit?
Yeah, dude. I was unbelievably nervous. Like when Howard, see, that's where Howard fools you sometimes. When Howard said pick a scene to Coppola, I know the movie by heart, but you know. But like you throwing out the first bit, you can choke a little bit. Because, you know, I'm saying, in a way, I agree with what Gary's pain was. It's, you know, you can throw a ball, but then you get in front of someone. And look, I did the scene well, but I fucked up the most important part.
Did Howard give you any indication that he might call on you for that?
No.
But
no.
But in your mind, you think, hey, he might.
Of course, I was ready for. I mean, look, I do it a lot on the show. So, but. I mean, look, a lot of the fans that called up about me interrupting, they had good points, a lot of those guys, and I laid back a little bit, and Howard did a great interview, and then he went to me, so that's what the show is, you know.
Oh, hello. I'm Will, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we talked about Guess the Tranny, a great game we played where you had to pick out a tranny, and believe me, it wasn't as easy as you think. Trannies are very difficult to spot. We also talked about whether or not a tranny should have to tell somebody or reveal that they are in fact a tranny before they go down on them. My personal vote is yes. Some of the guys here got very confused from this segment. As you'll see, this tranny is quite the look. Check it out.
Let's talk about the big contest today, and that was Guess the Tranny. And Will, where did these ladies, or whatever you want to call one of them, where did they come from?
Well, the tranny came from, Janine was in earlier this month talking about her website and that she actually did a scene with Vanity, who was the tranny we used today. So Vanity wanted to come in and promote the scene and talk about, you know, working with Janine. So we said, well, it's a perfect opportunity to do Guess the Tranny. So then you have to go through finding girls that are willing to be in a tranny contest. You know what I mean? It's not the most nice thing to say to somebody. But the first girl was a porn star, so I just went through a bunch of pictures of porn stars. I was like, yeah, she looks kind of manly. She might fit the bill. And the second girl from the Penthouse Club was just really big. And she had this whole idea about wearing a wacky outfit. So I was like, all right, that might actually work. So
it worked. I mean, you did a great job. It really worked well today. Like I said, the only reason why I didn't go with the porn star, because you're right, she had a certain look that might have gone that way. She was wearing pants, and I could see she wasn't packing.
Right. It was tough. I mean, I told these girls, listen, cover your private areas, but I guess not everyone listens. That's why they're porn stars.
And it was, I wouldn't say a split decision, but Robin and Fred both picked the wrong one. Is that surprising to you?
No, because I was having my doubts. The thing that made me not pick the one that Howard and Robin picked was her voice was too girlish. Even though I saw she had the whole outfit on, I mean, there's three things you look for in a tranny, for real. It's the voice, the hands, and the Adam's apple.
Oh, and a fourth, a cock.
Yes.
But it's the voice, the hands, and the Adam's apple. But the voice, and the other thing about the girl who really was beautiful, the girl that was, in fact, still had a penis, who really was beautiful, like I said, I had
only added to it.
But I said I had a hunch, and Artie talked about it afterwards. He goes, there's just a feeling that you get. And there's another thing, too. When these guys try to become women, they have face work done, and it's not always natural. That almost makes them look like a little Asian. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like she was a little bit pulled, but she could. Ralph called in later. It's like, oh God, it's so obvious. Listen, you're in a bar. It's dark. You've had a lot of alcohol. She looks like a chick.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I agree with Howard. Like they're under scrutiny. There's only 3, so it's a different environment than being in a bar. But as soon as you just knew it. You just felt that was a dude. I knew
it's so hard to say that.
No,
though.
I was still good. I mean, there was still I wouldn't have been shocked if if like someone else did. But if I had I would have bet all my money that was the guy, and I did. I mean, that's who I said.
Now, I forgot what I was going to ask.
Like I think you can make a mistake if you bring in 1,000 people and you say some of these are girls, some of these are guys. You'll pull out some of the girls, but all the guys you'll get right.
Now, Vanity was the tranny, or is the tranny, but Vanity talked about the right time to reveal that she's a tranny, and that set off a bunch of issues. I mean, you wait for the first date to see how it goes before, oh, by the way.
Well, she talked about when she was younger, in her younger days, she might have taken a couple of dudes home and blown them without telling them what was going on. She realizes that was wrong. And so I said, like, hey, let's say I met you at the bar last night, and we're hitting it off, and I get your number. Like, at what point do you tell me that you're a dude? And she goes, oh, right away. And I thought right away, like, I would think if I call her to go out on a date, she should probably say, listen, there's something that you need to know. But she felt the right time was the first date itself. And I think that's also, she said some things on the air today as if they were, common practice that I just don't believe. That lots of straight guys, when they find out who she is, they don't care. I just don't believe that. I think a straight guy is a straight guy, and he's going to go, I'm sorry, you have a penis, I'm going to leave now. But she made it, I think her feeling is to get you to the first date and tell you right away, and then you can make the choice. But I think that that's not even fair.
And a lot of people have revelations on the first date, but it's like when I was 9, I was arrested for shoplifting.
Yeah, what do you think about the timing of all that, Will?
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a difficult thing to bring up. Yeah, you got to let them know right away, I would assume. But even that's an awkward conversation to have someone you don't really know that well either, I mean, you don't want to tell everything to somebody.
Well, this is the kind of thing that you have to tell.
You do, but I don't know. I guess her feeling is if you get to know her a little bit, and
you'll be
maybe you're
convinced.
into it. Well, maybe you're into her a little more.
She'll be so funny. She'll be so charming.
Here's a question. You have herpes. Right? It's just for argument's sake,
right.
You have herpes.
That's a good example.
Now, I can understand going through the first date, but I would think that minimally 3 dates is the minimum before you have to bring that in. Don't you agree? Like, in other words, you can't, like, some people go, well, I wait till it's time to have sex. I think that's already too late. Don't you?
Yeah, exactly. But I also think it's one of those things you wouldn't bring up the moment you meet somebody.
Right, but this is a lot different. Well, I might still have sex with a girl who has herpes. I'm not having sex with a man.
What if it was full-blown AIDS? You got to tell them right off the bat? Or...
Again, I think that something like that, which is a life-changing thing, whether it's herpes or full-blown AIDS, it's something that you got to tell somebody by the end of the first night.
I always feel so bad for people that, what's it called when you have like a
colostomy?
Bag? Yeah, colostomy bag. Like, it's hard enough, meeting someone you like, but like, how do you bring that up?
Wasn't there like a dating site for people that have colostomy?
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah.
Benji, what's because I know that you have no problem leaving in the middle of a first date. What is something that has sent you away?
I don't like you. when they said that.
No. But I mean, has someone ever told you something about them that you were surprised to hear that was such a big revelation that it made you
I can't think of anything, but I was actually wondering the opposite. Like, if you, because I think I'm a real nice guy. I'm a gentleman. But if a guy or a chick tells me she has a cock in the middle of dinner, I don't think we're going to have the rest of the dinner unless it's like so interesting as a goof. I want to like tape record it for the show or something. Like, what do you continue with the date? If you have like plans, let's say you're taking her to the theater, first dinner, then theater. Does she
So
still
in
get
other
to
words,
the play?
I've got tickets for Jersey guys,
have a meal,
Jersey boys, that's
see a show.
I mean, I don't know how. It's a terrible thing to say, but I'm supposed to sit through the theater and pretend that this is.
Why is it a terrible thing to say?
Because it's mean, but they should have told you in the first place.
I don't like that you have a cock.
Now, I know a lot of listeners are probably thinking, come on, guys, it's so obvious, but it was not obvious. It was anything but obvious when you see this tranny. I mean, the pictures up are on howardstern.com, and I know it'll be on Howard TV tomorrow, but it's not such an easy thing. And I know some guys have been caught in strange positions, whether it's a club, you're a little drunk, and you find out.
What are you saying, John?
I'm just saying, I know, I've heard stories.
We were talking about it during the break today. 𝗵𝗵's first time ever on the air with us, which I didn't realize because I brought up this thing. There's a really well-known restaurant in Manhattan. I don't know if they're still there.
Yeah.
It's called Lucky Chang's, and what they're known for is they get the hottest transvestites that there are. They really look like women. So I guess the first year that E did their Christmas party, they did it there, and everybody except `𝗵𝗵 knew that they were dudes. So I guess this chick was sitting on his lap, and he was kissing her on the cheek, and what was so great about it was the next day, 𝗵𝗵, they broke it to him. They were all still drunk for the party. They stayed up till like 3 a.m. I think they all stayed in the city. They were all still drunk, and 𝗵𝗵 goes, "I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit what you say. That was not a dude."
Well, you can't fool 𝗵𝗵.
Well, I talked about it on there. It almost happened to me once, and that's why I'm so paranoid about it now. This was like about 12 years ago, before I worked on the show. It was when phone lines used to be big to hook up with chicks and everything. And this was late at night, and I didn't have my contacts in. I don't know if that made a difference. And she was saying like she had a real dark room, and that she lived with her parents. We had to be really quiet. And I got in there, and we start talking. We're sitting on her bed, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh my fucking God, this is a guy.
How did you realize it?
It just all of a sudden it hit me. We hadn't kissed. We hadn't done anything.
Was it a guy dressed as a chick, or was it just a guy?
No. It was a guy. It was some sort of transsexual or something like that.
And they didn't feel it was the right time to let you know.
It was so, I was so freaked out because, she was like, the setup before I came over was like, well, you can't leave till like 9 o'clock because that's like my parents are leaving and everything. And she didn't want her parents to know that she had snuck someone in her room. And she was of age and everything. She was like in her 20s or something like that.
Teenage tranny.
But she had all this
the only thing worse than a pedophile, than a tranny fucker is a pedophile.
But
tranny fucker.
She had all this satanic stuff hanging in her room
because he was 13.
She had like skulls and bats hanging, and I was so freaked out. So I thought of listen, I have to tell you, I have a girlfriend. And, I was going to cheat. I can't do that. And I started crying about it.
You didn't mention the skulls and the bats? Or...
No. I just, I was like, I can't do this. And I started crying. And she was like, well, you can't leave. But she was, cuddling me. Oh, that's so sweet. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
Hey, what's up? It's Jason, and on Wednesday's wrap-up show, Scott 𝗵𝗵, everyone's giving him a hard time for saying that he hits his dog, and knees the dog in the chest, and does God knows else to that poor creature in his house. And I don't know why he can't be more like me with my little dog Teddy at home that I just love, and I just put my little nose up against his belly and go, oh, Teddy, oh, you're such a good boy, you're such a good little man, good little man. I don't think Scott has it in him, so fuck him, he's an asshole. Now, excuse me, I had some business to take care of. Get the fuck out of here.
Scott, you were in there today because Sam Simon sat in, Actually, Sam was on for practically the whole show, but one of the things that came up was the way you discipline your dog. And before you say anything, Gary, did you expect Sam to confront Scott in some manner today? I mean, other than likening him to Hitler, he really didn't, get in his face too much.
Yeah, but that's not Sam's thing. Sam sort of voiced his opinion. He said, Scott goes, I could do anything I want. And Sam's like, no, you can't do anything you want with a dog. I think there are people who think they could do anything they want with an animal.
But who is Sam to tell me how to raise my dog?
Well,
what is he, the expert? I mean,
he owns a foundation.
So what?
That tells people how to train dogs.
I've probably had 5, 6 dogs growing up. All of them were great dogs. So I think my way is proven and it works.
But you can hit your kid, and that's proven, and it's not against the law. I can't tell you not to hit your kid, but I think it's wrong.
Right. Well, I don't think you should even tell me that it's wrong.
I think it's weird if you hit your kid in the back of the head every time he says something you don't like.
Well, I wouldn't hit him in the back of the head. And a kid, and you're equating a kid with an animal, a dog. There is an intelligence difference there.
Right, but just because somebody's less intelligent means you can physically abuse them?
If that's what works.
You got to listen back to this someday.
No, I don't. If I have a dog and I sit there and keep trying to have conversations with it and it doesn't work, well, then why would I keep doing it?
Would you ever take a retarded guy and tell him he's on the moon?
We're saying there's alternative ways to train an animal besides hitting them.
But why do I need an alternative if my way works?
Because some folks see it as maybe not the most humane way.
Howard's way. Well, how about Howard's way, where he goes, no. Maybe I think that's cruel. He's yelling at the dog, basically. Maybe the dog's feelings are going to get hurt.
But you can't make the comparison. It's not a physical. You're not physically abusing a dog.
Who are you to say? You're not a dog, so you don't know. Maybe that hurts them more.
Thank you for pointing that out, Scott.
Monkey.
At least Sam's a
Bald
vegan. This has come up recently. Sam's a vegan, so at least he puts his money where his mouth is and everything. But I do think there's a little bit of hypocrisy about people that eat mammals that yell at Scott for, spanking his dog. I mean, it'd be like
Howard.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like anyone. It'd be like Jeffrey Dahmer yelling at people for spanking their kids.
It's not like that.
Yeah, it is.
Why, Gary?
Because people eat meat, and you can still eat meat and still have a pet, and a pet is not meant to be eaten. So you're going to treat a pet a different way.
By our cultural standards. I mean, people eat dogs in China, don't they?
Right. I don't know. That's what they say.
Yeah. Okay.
But in this, so if he goes to China, he can eat and beat the dog. But here
it's okay there.
But here it's a different culture.
Well, that's interesting.
But in my house,
why is that interesting? There's a lot of things that we don't. Hold on. There's a lot of things that are acceptable in other parts of the world that aren't here. Is that so weird?
I just think it's a whole
listen, if I lived in the Middle East, I could sell my daughter when she's 12.
We talk about the whole Michael Vick incident and all that, and everyone wants him to, pretty much go to hell and just die. And yet they play football with something made out of a pig. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. A pig's way smarter than a friggin' dog, too, by the way.
I don't know what road we're going down here. But
I mean, you're not torturing a
double
pig
standard for animals.
I feel it's horrible to be mean to animals.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I mean, it's eating them is. I think most dogs would rather be spanked occasionally rather than eaten.
Well, I have a question for Scott. You said that Sam has no, who is he to tell you? Why is he more of an expert? Because you know your dog, you've trained it, etc.
Right.
Is there anybody you would listen to?
No, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
For not just dog advice, but
just
for
being honest. No, I mean, listen, if there was some guy who swore that I've got the secret and it works every time, maybe I'd let him do it, and if it totally worked, then that would change my opinion. But I have something that works. It's like I've ridden a bike, and I know how to do it now. So why would I change? It doesn't make sense.
And you don't find...
Because every bicycle isn't the same.
No, I certainly would not change because it somehow...
You can't compare a bike to an animal.
I certainly wouldn't change because somehow it offends you. That's really what this comes down to. You guys are saying, whoa, that's terrible. I don't see it as terrible. I don't think the dog sees it as terrible. The dog loves me. This morning came up on my lap and rolled over.
I could take pictures of you and have you arrested if I wanted to be a douchebag. I really could. If you hitting your dog, call animal control, they'd arrest you.
Well,
seriously.
bring it on.
What? No, I'm just saying.
No way.
I'm saying that.
There is no way.
Wait, Gary, you can get arrested for hitting your dog with a newspaper?
Well, I don't know about a newspaper. You could get, I could say he's been beating his dog.
First of all, wait. I've never used a newspaper. That does seem a little odd. I use my hand.
What's been a newspaper is softer than a hand. Why is a newspaper odd? That's your personal opinion.
Yeah, no, that's right.
So could you call the cops if I got in a fight with my brother? Like if we got in a fist fight with my brother, would that be?
No, because your brother can defend himself.
Right.
Huh? So can a dog. A dog could bite.
Okay.
Right?
So
no.
you don't find what you do to be cruel. You just find
Not
it's
at all.
It's the way that you need to
The
discipline
dog
your.
stops doing what she was doing. She turns at me, looks, and then that's it. It's over, and she's learned. Now she does not go up on the table and eat the food. So thank you.
Can I say two things? First of all, Scott, that analogy between you eat food and you have a pet, here's the difference. You invite that pet into your house. You choose that dog out of all the dogs in the world, and you say, I'm going to give you a home and care for you and feed you. Now you have a responsibility. It's like having a child. You can't say, oh, I eat meat so I can treat my dog however I want to.
That's not what he's saying, but isn't it a little hypocritical for you?
No, it's sort of exactly
you
what
guys
he's
that
saying.
eat meat? Yeah, isn't it still two wrongs?
No.
So it's wrong for him to spank his dog, but it's not wrong for you to eat an animal of equal intelligence?
First of all,
we didn't invite that animal into our home to be a pet.
I didn't point to a cow and say, hey, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life and protect you.
So it's just your animal.
Yeah, that's right. You're responsible for your animal.
So it's not all animals, it's just your personal animal. You don't care what happens to other people's dogs, just your
Scott
dog.
enjoyed going out hitting other dogs. Would you have a problem with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? He didn't invite that dog
Yeah,
to
he
his
didn't give the dog a miss.
Benji and Will, if you're going to equate
And
eating
Will, did you
meat
get
that was
that pig
killed
line
at a
for my
butcher
blog? I wrote that 2 months ago.
to hitting a dog, I mean, you guys are really stretching to make a point. If you can't see the difference between we lock people up in jail, should we lock everybody up in jail? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Well, they do a crime. That's why we do it after they do a crime.
Scott did a crime. He jumped on the table.
The other thing
exactly,
we learned,
that's the point.
The other thing we learned from Scott is that
confused by
that's
this
why I
argument.
also
Hold on.
the other thing we learned from Scott is really how stupid he is. Because look at the rigid thinking. I found a way that works, and I don't care what new information is brought to light, what experts chime in on it, what works for other people or not. I found the way that works, and regardless of any new information, I am just going to go stick with what I know, despite anything else. And that, to me, is such a sad way to live your life.
Why? Listen, asshole. Why would I waste my time doing a whole new way to do something and go, no, like Howard said? What if it doesn't work and I've just wasted my time? I have a process that works.
Having said that, why would you pick up a cell phone? The old rotary phone still works.
Why take a golf
why
lesson?
would you move ahead? Why would you go through
Because
progress?
Why do you beat your dog with the old-fashioned phone, not a cell phone?
Wait, let him answer the question.
That's called progress.
Growing, learning.
No. But there was no problem with the old way. The old way with a rotary phone was a pain in the ass. Doing that thing with your finger, it would hurt the whole time.
Jason, there are studies that prove that obesity will kill you at this point. Then why don't you change your lifestyle?
I should, but at least I'm only affecting me. I'm not shoving food down somebody else's face.
Well, I'm only affecting my dog.
What do you mean? You're affecting our healthcare costs. You're affecting my room, my comfortability on a plane.
I don't sit next to you.
Yeah, but you can go down there. Listen,
we have to look at you.
I don't know where this is going.
I know it's gone to a weird place.
Will, you have cancer. Why don't you stop drinking and fucking doing drugs and shit?
John Hein is now going. Hold on, guys.
I don't.
John Hein is now going to get the fishing pole and reel it in.
I'm going to try. So, Scott, your philosophy in general, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, is basically if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This works for me, and there may be other ways to do it, but my way works, and I'm going to stop.
And it's quite offensive that everyone else has these opinions that I'm somehow. It makes me want to beat her more.
Really? Would you not have opinions if somebody was beating her kid?
I got a question. Why do I need the video caddy? My swing works fine, and it's been working fine for years.
Fair
Why do
point.
I need that?
That's a
because
fair question.
I can prove to you the video caddy makes it easy to record your swing.
It's what you said.
And through video analysis, your swing is going to be a lot better.
That's
There's
not
a lot
true.
of pros use video analysis.
I don't believe you, and I think
A
what
lot
you're
of
saying
pros?
is stupid.
I thought you said you don't listen to pros.
And look at how bad. What?
You just said you wouldn't listen to an expert's advice on how to.
That's exactly
how to train
right.
a dog.
No, if
Yes, you did.
if there's proven success, I see these guys on
But there
television.
is proven success. You can get a
There
dog
is
to
not.
you
I have proven success.
You can get a
That's the
dog to
difference.
obey without hitting him,
Listen,
without punching him in the
if
snout.
I was a pro on my own and never used video analysis, then this argument would hold up. But that's not true, right? I'm not a pro. Thank you.
So can you really trust the confession your dog is giving if you're torturing him?
I had a dog. Wait, here, let me tell you one more. A neighbor of mine just told me a new trick for if your dog keeps jumping up on you, which our dog does.
Shoot him
so
with
what
a
you
BB
said,
gun.
Grab the paws and then you sort of knee him. Right in the chest.
Knee him in the chest?
And it only takes once, and they'll never do it again. So I'm tempted to try that.
Wait. Explain that one more time because everyone was talking over you.
First of all, Lab's a big dog. So when they jump up on you, you grab their paws and then take your knee and just you knee him in the chest right there.
Right, you get them in the Adam's apple till the wind is knocked out of them, and then when they pass out.
And apparently, they'll never do it again.
Are you guys arguing, Scott, about effectiveness or like cruelness?
Both. It's both. But it's both. Hey, by the way, Jason, isn't your cat declawed?
No, not at all. Full claws. Come over and look at them tomorrow.
Listen, Benji, if every day when you interrupt, hold on,
just terrified to come off.
I want to say something. If every day if I felt you interrupted the show, every day you did that, no, I punched you in the head as hard as I could. Right. That would be effective, but it's not necessarily the right way to do it.
I agree. But I'm saying, but you guys seem to be saying to Scott that this is more effective.
The problem with your analogy,
no, we're saying it's as effective and more humane.
You could use words. He's a person. That's the difference.
Do you talk to your dog? Do you ever use words with him? Do you say no?
Yeah, but I don't expect them. Yeah, no and yes, maybe. And they eventually learn those words. But I don't expect if I have a full sentence communication with them that she's going to turn around and answer me.
I have this problem
What
with
if
the
you
dog,
write it
by
down?
the way.
What's that?
If I could say that. It's a big problem that we've been working with the trainer with about Teddy, and he's a much smaller dog than Scott's dog. But Teddy the dog jumps up when you walk in. And what Janice and I have been working on is, and it's effective, but yes, it takes a couple more days than kneeing the dog in the stomach.
See?
But when you walk in and the dog jumps on you, you just ignore it. You don't give it any sort of attention whatsoever. You just walk away and ignore it. And I'll tell you what, after 3 days of doing that, it's like a whole new dog. It's like a whole new dog. And let me tell you something. I haven't had to knee it in the stomach, pull its tail, smack it on the head. I had to put up with 2 extra days of the dog jumping on.
Jason, what do you do when it won't put on its little Derek Jeter jersey?
He never had to. Let me tell you something about the Derek Jeter jersey. He pulls that jersey out of his little toy box and brings it over to me.
Did you tell Derek Jeter the other day about the jersey?
If I only had the time.
I think Jason's dog's more tortured than Scott's.
On Thursday's wrap-up show, we had superfan Jillian Barbie Reynolds, and lots of stuff came up, but we had 2 surprise visitors.
Well, Sal and Richard, 2 of my absolute favorites, dropped by because everybody's been hounding them lately, like, why are you guys in your cubbyhole? What's going on? So they sort of come out of their hibernation to talk about what's going down and what's really pissing them off.
They don't freak you out at all.
Oh, my God, no. I love them. When I hear the phone ring, when I'm listening in my car and I hear ring, I go, yes, it's a phone. Who's it going to be?
Jillian on the wrap-up show. Here we go.
I want to bring something up because Jillian said, where's Sal? And I said this to Jillian. I said, it's really weird. Sal's like hardly visible anymore around the office, hardly comes on the air anymore. He's like, I don't know whether you're being introspective or whether you've been given the edict to not come on the air, but you've sort of disappeared in the office.
No, I mean, I've just been working in the back.
I know, but your work is great. I'm not talking about your work. I'm talking about the rest of Sal is missing.
Those guys hide themselves now. They close the door.
But they're doing such good work in there.
But it's clear that you guys have some sort of a beef something's going on.
Okay, I personally don't have a beef, and I don't think Richard does as well. But the thing is that, Howard right now, it's the show lately seems so congested, and it seems like Howard's head is all over the place. And, there's a certain rhythm to the show, and I feel like I don't want to be that guy, that's going to come in and cause the explosion. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that pulls the last card where the house of cards falls in.
Totally understand, but how did you come to that revelation after 3.5 years?
It took because I'm an idiot. It took me 3.5 years to get it through my thick brain. A normal person probably would have gotten it in 3.5 minutes. So I kind of, I'm very particular about my spots, and unless I'm really passionate about something, I decide to stay away.
But I don't even hear it like you and Richard used to roughhouse in the halls, and I have to yell at you.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't come out of your hovel.
No, we don't. We found a new Tradio database, so we've been calling them from 6 a.m. literally to about 1 o'clock. And we've been doing a lot of that, a lot of editing. We just recently went on the street for the homeless games and stuff. Right. We've been cutting that up. So we've been doing a lot of work in the back. So, Howard said 1 billion times, get in the back, get in that cubbyhole, go back and do your prank calls, get the hell out of my studio. So we're kind of getting it now. And we're not hiding, but we're focusing more on the back. As far as Will and stuff and being in the pit, that's a different story. Will spoke about it last week that Richard really doesn't want to bother those guys as well, and that's Richard's thing. He could speak.
But where are
it.
you? I don't see you in there that much.
No, I was in there today. I put up the porn clips today, the new porn clips that Howard spoke about. I put up a real bad Michael Jackson joke that Steve talked me out of when he was talking about Michael Jackson. I put up a couple of jokes, so I'm still in there.
All right.
I love that you're doing the Tradio stuff. It gets better and better and better.
And even with Richard, if Richard puts up media, I'll go in as a courtesy to Will. To let him know that this.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's say Howard's in the middle of a conversation and he's talking about an old lady. Like, we'll put up a Blue Iris song, like, here's a song that she sang.
So you do that now. Richard doesn't do that.
Richard does that, but if Richard comes up with the idea at the moment, like, hey, I'm going to put up this Blue Iris song, I'll go in and tell Will.
You're Richard's
Right.
spokesperson
In other words,
in the pit.
Right, Richard won't go to the pit anymore, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he doesn't want to bother them, but
Did anybody notice that-
he'll still put up the media with
He
me.
contributes.
He's still contributing.
He contributes, but he doesn't want to deal with the likes of Will.
He's not crazy about the pit, lately.
Did anybody notice he shaved his head, Richard?
I did. I said when I brought him in, he looks like Lex Luthor.
Well, Richard, you're more than welcome to come down.
He's working hard, and he has, according to him, he has no beef with anybody, but he prefers to stay in the back and not ruffle anybody's feathers. That's his
Again, how did he come to that revelation after 3.5 years?
I don't know. I think
so. He's been here for 3.5 years, being Richard, and 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, he decided that he's going to stay in the back.
Well, he works really hard, and I
know,
guess
we know you work hard.
Will rubbed him, I guess, the wrong way. It was like one too many times where Will said, "Get the fuck out of here, leave me alone."
Well, Richard's going to come down and speak his mind. We were talking before about how everyone really hasn't seen you a lot lately around. And Sal said you guys are just busy in the back cranking away on different stuff.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we've kind of found out that just keeping to ourselves and doing our work and stuff is kind of works better for us. It's
but I understand that, but something must have changed along the way. Because the other
well, I did get into it with Will a while back, but we were just talking. No, everything's cool. It takes me a while to get over when I get in an argument with somebody. He gets over stuff really quick, and I'm finally over it. Everything's cool, but sometimes me and Sal feel like we're kind of bothering people, and we don't want to get in the way. And like Howard always says, less is more. We want to stay back there, do our work. We don't want to, bother anybody. We don't want to get yelled at or get ragged on, and we just kind of do our thing.
Can I ask these guys a question? And probably is more towards you, but as a super fan of the show, it feels like sometimes that Sal and Richard, you guys are damned if you do, damned if you don't. So they're back there doing their thing. Then they come out and it's like, oh, fucking go back in your hole, and you're too out here too much. You want too much attention. You just fucking try to be funny. And then they go and they're doing their thing. They're like, where are you guys? What's wrong with you? You're not. It's like.
Well, yeah. I mean, part of the beauty of, I would say, less of Richard and more of Sal is that there is a middle ground, and Sal doesn't know where it is. Sal doesn't know where the line is, which
at Howard's wedding.
Well, just in general, but Sal.
I got your ticket, by the way. Thank you.
My nickname, I tell Sal this. I call him Sal No Governale. He has no governor on him.
Great.
And so yeah, but that's the beauty of Sal, that he doesn't know when enough is enough.
Right.
So Richard, Sal's not your spokesperson in the back. He was saying you go and put something up, and he tells Will that you want to, instead of you doing that.
For a while, it was like that. Yeah, after me and Will got into it, it was like because we got into it over show stuff. Like I was calling in with drops while Sal was calling in with drops, and I guess it kind of confused Will, and he got angry about it. So I felt weird going in and putting stuff up. So I would just tell Sal, and Sal would go do it for a while.
Yeah, we went through that. I think we have a pretty good system now. But what would happen is when we got here, they'd want to play stuff for me, and their stuff isn't 20 seconds long. And I would say, come back in a little while. And then they felt like I would forget that they were there, and they felt like they were getting blown off. And now what they do is they IM me when they have something. And then I listen to it. And then sometimes you'll IM me, did you get to that yet? Yes, I did. I gave it to Howard. But it is hard when the show's on live and you're standing right over me, because I always feel like I have to listen. Shuli comes in every day to ask me whatever the question of the day is. And I'll say, give me 2 seconds. I got to hear how this plays out. And he's fine. He doesn't get insulted by it. But I felt like sometimes you guys did. And now I think we have the system down fine.
Mm-hmm.
Today, sir?
I'm good. Good morning. You guys are always up early, huh?
Yeah, we get things going right at the crack of dawn. So you're excited to talk to Howard today?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
This is your first time on the show, right?
It is.
Get ready, please. So you've got your new movie coming out.
That's right. Tetro.
Where do you anticipate this interview going today, Mr. Coppola?
I have no idea. I hope he has all those beautiful girls that he's always
parading around.
Yeah, that's what. That would be really nice. But I have a hunch I'm going to get the serious side tonight.
Not the bikini parade. We can hope.
Yeah, we always hope.
Okay. Good luck today.
Thanks.
Francis Ford Coppola is the greatest film director that has ever lived. Wow. Because he made the greatest film. Two films.
Do you think that he will say he's the greatest director that ever lived?
I don't know what he'll say, but he probably won't. He's probably a humble guy. Most guys who are really good at something are humble, unlike me. But he is the greatest film director of all time. He made the two most perfect movies ever, Godfather 1 and Godfather 2.
Do you think he regrets making Godfather Part 3?
I think he regrets making Godfather 1 and 2. He never wanted to direct them. He wanted nothing to do with it.
He couldn't regret it now.
In fact, some of his best films are films he didn't want to make, if you know anything about Francis Ford Coppola. But I don't know if he regrets it. Let me take a look at him.
Wow.
Wow.
There he is.
That's you, huh? Is that really you?
It's an imposter.
Hey, good to see you. Is it you or is it an imposter?
It's an animatronic.
Look at you.
Hi.
How are you, man?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
It's wonderful to meet you. Have a seat on our beautiful couch.
I used to listen to you pick on my nephew, Mark.
Mark Coppola.
The Cope. This is a revenge of the Cope.
I can't tell you for how long I thought you did not even know Mark Coppola. I used to accuse Mark of that.
Mark is the sweetest guy. Of all the relatives, he's the really nice, the sweetest one.
You know, Mark always made it into some of your films. He would end up in some of your films. So you gave him a little part.
But it was always like a DJ, right?
It was always a DJ.
Well, at first, you know, he was a DJ when he was 7 years old. He was really an early someone in the field. He loved being a DJ, and he was doing it as a little kid. And
right.
And I thought he was a DJ, so I'd always put him whenever there was a guy with a nice voice.
Unfortunately, he never grew out of being a DJ. That's the trick. You got to get out of it at some point. But Mark's a great guy. He's actually a great guy.
A really good guy. I wished I tried to contact him, and I was going to try to get him to come and protect me from all the beautiful girls I was sure were going to be here.
I cleared them all out. I know a man of your stature doesn't want to see beautiful women. Is it? You know, I know a couple of guys who direct films who are successful at it. And they tell me the idea that you get laid a lot as a director is really not the truth, because, you know, the director is so busy really running the whole show that you don't get laid a lot. And you've been married to the same woman how many years?
46 years.
Do you regret that? I mean, I'm sure there are young starlets who would do anything to be in a Francis Ford Coppola movie.
Yeah, but you know, usually the girls want to present a side to the director that's serious, and they're actresses, and so they're not so flamboyantly flirtatious, unless maybe they know that's the kind of, you know, you are. But no, I find them very, very anxious. And, you know, the truth is, in my entire career, which now is more than 50 years, I never even went out with an actress.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
You met your wife, though, on a movie set, didn't you?
I made a very low-budget film in Dublin, and the guy I invited from UCLA to be the cameraman said, well, can I bring my girlfriend?
Right.
So she's an art major, and I said, okay, but I'll pay her $100 to help on the whole movie for, you know, whatever. But it turns out that she was less his girlfriend in her mind than he had invited her to come. And she came to me once, and we all lived in two houses, and there was two in a room because it was very low budget. And I had the only room with only one bed, me, because I was writing the script that night.
Right.
And she said, oh, you know, I'm very uncomfortable there. He's chasing me around. Can I stay in your room? And I said, oh, yeah, because I have glasses. If I take my glasses off, you can undress and everything. I can't see you.
Now, there's a good scam.
Yeah,
No, but
I have the same rap.
Very
Yeah.
nice. It was true. And then, actually, we just became friends, really. It was not a romance until...
The idea that you walk around Hollywood and women unzip your fly and just start to suck on your penis is ridiculous.
Absurd, yeah.
Right. Now,
they want to make a good impression of you to take them seriously as an actress. They don't want you to think that they're that they're less than that, so they don't show that side to you.
Your brother's name is August, right? August. Now, August was supposed to be the star of the family.
Well,
August was the favorite.
Well, he is. No, he favorite. He was handsome. He was brilliant. He got good marks at school. Girls loved him.
Did you hate him?
No. Well, deep down, who knows? But I was 5 years younger, so I just wanted to be like him.
Do you think you're so successful because you wanted to prove to your parents, I'm better than August?
Well, I don't think I am better than August. I just wanted to be anywhere.
Of course you're better than August. You have totally...
What does August do?
He's a brilliant guy.
What does he do?
He was in academics. He was a professor. He was a dean.
But you're the greatest film director that ever lived. In your opinion, do you share that opinion? You made two of the most perfect movies ever.
Not at all. I appreciate that. There's movies are only 100 years old, but there's like some great movies. So one just wants to be in the group if you can be.
Well, what do you consider a great movie?
Oh my God! There are just so many. The Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, Raging Bull.
Did you ever see a movie recently that even measures up to any of your to any of your films? The fact of the matter is, I would imagine you're disappointed in today's movies because you're more of a storyteller. Today is all special effects.
Well, I don't like the fact that when you go to the movies, pretty much the regular movies, you're seeing something you've already seen 20 times, that they don't allow films to try to go their own way, and they're all a copy of a movie that was successful.
Did you see the movie Doubt?
Yes, I
did.
Liked
You like that? You liked Doubt?
I did.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
I did like Doubt very much.
Ele tá de pistola dupla, Mikael. Derrubei. Não posso ir por causa do meu ataque. Mikael, você passou pelo cara, Mikael. Ah, mano, esse picanha de novo, mano. Esse picanha tava no trio e ele tá agora no duo também. Nossa, que coincidência, picanha.
Um gulag aqui pra gente.
Ah, entendi, filho. Mas só toma cuidado pra não ser dengue, pô. No meu corpo tem um vale gulag que eu tava carregando. Tem uma pizza também.
Eu só fiquei de olho no especialista. Olha, cartão do banco.
Tem um aí perto, né? Ou será que tá aberto já? Tá cedo, Matheus.
Aproveita que você tá equipado com coisa boa.
Muito obrigada. Ó, a gente ganhou a caixa doida aí. Eu só a 1.349 metros de mim. Oxe. Um cara ali? Não. Tô vendo coisas. Vamos se mexer, bebê. Você não saiu nem do seu respawn.
Tem um inimigo descendo na
E aí,
área.
Mikael? Inimigo descendo na área. Olho no céu. Putz, ele não tá nem no meu loot, velho. Já era pra mim.
Peguei um.
Ah, mano, eu tô aqui de boa, luteando. Vai ser um pouquinho difícil.
Nem de vida, Bárbara.
Mano, eu tô pegando meu loot. Você quer que eu faça o quê? Olha onde eu tô, Mikael. Você não devia nem ter saído daqui. Agora pronto. Não consigo nem pegar minha arma. Tudo sob controle.
Colega de esquadrão entrando no gulag. Vai remobilizar se sobreviver.
Ai, tô tomando de outro time. Vai fora, louco. Tá, vamos fazer umas armadilhas aqui. Uma.
Gás chegando. Marcando nova zona segura.
Por que esse cartão fica boiando assim agora, flutuando? A gente tá Tá realmente difícil hoje.
Tudo depende de você agora. Vai. Seu
Boa, meu caro.
sacode. Vai voltar pra base agora.
Jesus amado, Bárbara. Ai, agora eu vi você aí em cima. Ah, não tem munição. E ele pode vir de rapel.
Eu ouvi.
Que isso?
Eu caí pro cara. Olha aqui, ó.
Entra aqui, caralho. Vai ficar dando a cara pra ele? Não entendi.
Gás chegando na sua área.
Ele tá vindo. Rapel.
Achei que ia dar tempo.
Você era um dos últimos 25. Falha.
Achei que ia dar tempo.
Olha pra mim, Radeu.
Para, Mikael. Vai me largar sozinho aqui, o Vida não quer vir jogar comigo. Falei pra ele, eu tentei obrigar ele a jogar comigo toda quarta-feira. Falei que é quarta love do amor, mas não tá rolando, não. O Vale Gulag no chão deu oi. Fechado o Gulag, mulher. Eu já tinha pego meu Vale Gulag. O Vale Gulag seria pro Mikael. Eu já tinha pego. Só que fechou bem na hora que eu morri e fechou. Eu já tava de Vale Gulag que eu tinha no meu corpício, entendeu? Que eu sempre carrego.
Vou ter que abrir o mercado amanhã.
Mais uma? Entra aí, Dani, jogar comigo. Não gosto de jogar solo, não.
Se a Dani entrar, eu continuo.
Ai, cara, eu odeio quando vocês fazem isso. Parece que, tipo, só eu não sou suficiente pra vocês.
Eu tô brincando.
Não, porque ela faz a mesma coisa. Boa noite, Mikael. Vai dormir.
Não, também não vou, não. Também eu vou jogar.
Que isso, galera! Vamos com calma.
Ah, mano, cara, aquele dia tu falou, ah, não aguento mais. Aí aqui te veio jogar, esse aqui te entrar, então eu jogo mais umas. Porra, vamos tomar no cu vocês dois.
Dani, não,
eu entrei porque tu pediu, eu não ia nem entrar, meu jogo nem aberto não está.
Pois abra.
Não, a Dani fez sacanagem naquele dia.
Claro que foi. Ela tava reclamando um monte que ela não queria mais jogar, que ela tava tiltada. Aí na hora que ela vai sair aqui, tipo, fala de entrar, e ela, daí eu jogo mais umas então se aqui te entrar. Porra, beleza, entendi. Eu não valho nada mesmo nesse caralho aqui.
Eu te amo, cara.
Tá, vai, deve estar Fortunes. Ai, tá Fortunes,
chegando.
entra. Fazer essas missões aqui
e
andar logo, cara. Tá, vamos aqui.
Vai tomar no cu, Daniela e Mikael. Por que tá me mandando tomar no cu, Matheus? Reiniciação por atualização. Deixa eu reiniciar.
Tá. Aqui eu caio lá sempre. Tá, entre os 10 melhores só falta um, então eu só preciso de fazer de matar 3. Então eu vou fazer pra matar aqui, que eu sempre caio aqui que é do lado.
Mesmo e
aqui. Acorda meio-dia nada, porque a Gi abre live cedinho e ela tá lá.
Não. Pergunta pra Giovana quando foi a última vez que eu tava na live dela. Só o dia que eu tô virada mesmo.
Não, tá, eu já tô com 3 quase pronto. Eu só preciso fazer 2, então eu só vou fazer esses 2 aqui, ó.
Igual no dia que tu fez live bêbada.
Não, no dia que eu fiz. Cara, eu jogo melhor bêbada.
Eu ia te falar isso.
Assim, eu vou dar só uma pausinha, assim. Não matem os bonecos que eu derrubar. Eu preciso interrogar 3 bonecos.
Ai, meu Deus.
Tá bom,
que skin é essa, Daniela? Edinger.
E por que não tá com o nick de Kit Kat?
Que skin é essa, Dani? Meu, tô muito rica. Você devia ter comprado a dos Beat lá que tava na promoção sem querer.
Que bicho, cara!
Beat?
Ah, aquela dos cabeçudos?
É, tu viu que tava 2.000?
Eu vi que eles tiraram da loja, deu porque
rapidinho eles arrumaram.
3.000, rapidinho eles arrumaram.
Quando tá com bug aqui, eles demoram 2 semanas pra resolver. Mas a loja ali tá com o valor errado, daí a gente resolve em 5 minutinhos, galera. Dani acorda meio-dia, ela tá suave. Ela só não joga comigo, né, Matheus? E você não vai abrir tua live não, Daniela, pra você receber tua raid que eu paguei?
Meu amor, Eu abri live hoje.
Que horas?
Eu fechei porque ia começar o jogo do Inter, entendeu?
Ah, então tu se lasque, né?
Checa suas armas
Nem sei se eu lembro ainda da minha raiva. Mas nós perdemos também. No último minuto do jogo, o Galo fez outro gol.
Caraca, tem um monte de palavra com 4 letras hoje. Entre nato e nota tem 2. Então vai ser tipo Não, mas não faz sentido. É com no. Nodo. Nodo. E entre nodo e nota vai ser no.
Todas as estações. Shadow 1 falando.
Nono?
A nossa mobilização foi autorizada.
Nona. Por que não tá? É só aqui que nós fala, é.
Vocês fazem isso mais divertido.
Nojo. Nossa, finha. Inteligentaça, velho. Boa. Era nojo mesmo. Entre nada e nata. Tem 2. Nada e nata. Vai ser
Naja.
Naja. E entre Naja e Nata. Naja. J. E antes de T. Não existe? Não. Cair ali no bagulho ali, que nós sempre cai? Ah, eu nem vi o Matheus mandando nojo, eu só vi a finha.